Yogi is wrong.
Socrates say to that.
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me.
Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Gucci get large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Hands up as ever, keepers can be. You can watch us on YouTube with viewing for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the whole time. What they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
I'm tired.
Oh, buddy.
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me because your site is muted.
Mute.
Unmute your site. Vegas hangover, Marcos. We're back, baby.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're back, baby. We are
Welcome
back.
Dude.
We are back.
Hey. Topes.
Huh?
How about that takeoff? Dude.
Dude.
We didn't know if we were gonna get the air. Dude was like this.
Dude, Marcos, I'm not a guy who's scared of flying. Like, I handle it okay.
Yeah.
I was like nervous, dude. Like, this guy,
we were going down the runway like this.
It was a really shaky takeoff for like I don't know how long it was. It felt like a good 20 minutes. Like we were like that. I don't know how what the actual length of it. I was like, oh
wait, Marcos, that's not the worst part. I was sitting in front of a lady who was damn near having an anxiety attack.
Yeah, she let you know about it too.
Every time. Oh my God, I have anxiety. I'm like,
wow, no, she really lets you know about it.
I'm thinking to myself,
Okay.
So why not just give it to all of us?
She's just trying to, share in the fun.
Yeah,
No,
it was nerve wracking though, dude. It was a nerve wracking because like I think the thing that made it unexpected because Leroy, he's an expert on the wind. He's a golfer. But I'm not an expert on wind because like when I would live in Las Vegas, I was like, oh, it's a beautiful hot day in Las Vegas. Fine. Yeah. But like we were in there and it was like, dude, we were fluttering like a Chad Pennington throw, dude.
Like this. I was checking the wings because I thought like we were like this.
Yeah, it was something, man. That was crazy.
And the plane didn't look like it was flying where the pilots wanted to go.
No.
So it's like we go up, right? And then all of a sudden we just go,
bro. And I gotta tell you, dude, Miami International Airport on a Sunday night.
Oh,
what a madhouse! Oh, dude. I mean, it was first. Like they have you have to go be like an Olympic athlete to go get your bag because they don't stop. They don't.
Wait, and for future reference, for folks flying out of Miami, if you have to park overnight. Let me tell you what you're dealing with, okay? So you park. When you pull in, they say, take your ticket or insert a credit card. And they take a picture of your plate. You have no interaction with people, right? So, okay, I do that. So that's fine. When we come back, I insert a credit card. Invalid ticket. They didn't give me a ticket. I inserted a different credit card. Invalid ticket. So I call help because there's none of the things are manned. There's no people.
Right.
So I call help. He said, you got to insert the same credit card. I don't know which one that is. I just thought, you just put one in case you try to make a run for it and they zap your card. Or you put the card in and then they zap your plate and charge your card. There's nothing there telling you what you have to do. They don't tell you beforehand you got to use the same credit card. Remember the credit card you use, you're going to have to use it on the way out. They don't say that. All right? So now I'm inserting credit cards. Now the line behind me is getting packed because he's telling you how many people are trying to survive to get their bag. But
Mhm.
just imagine the people trying to get the hell out of there. I'm getting home. Right? So now I'm looking and I'm like, I'm just going to blow through the gate because I'm just annoyed, right? The cop's right there.
Oh, great.
Just he looking at me saying, we got one.
He's
Right?
ready.
So
He's in a
I gotta
standoff.
call. So wait, I got to call back. Then I get a phone call. Where are you?
Oh, dude, I was dying too because I got Leroy's bags and my bags, and it's like it had to be like 100 pounds worth of stuff, Marcos, and it's soupy.
Right.
I mean, I'm like back into Miami. Oh my god.
So wait, it gets worse. She says, "What's your license plate number? I'll run it." I don't know. Now keep in mind, you barely can pull in. So now I got to do it so I can open my door and get out.
Is there anybody behind you?
There's a lot of people behind me honking the horns. I'm about to go back there and give somebody the business because they're annoying. I said, wait your turn. You're next.
I kind of feel like this might have been your penance for making fun of that old lady at Burger King.
Come on, dude.
Wow, a little bit of karma, huh?
Yeah, I think it was. I think because Leroy was really hosing down this one sweet old lady. Because what happens is in Vegas, what we've learned is they've really tried to replace us with robots. And this lady was trying to order a Whopper, long line. But, most people have it kind of down. Okay, boop, 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 order, there's your burger. But then you have this sweet old lady. She had to be like, pushing 70, right? She's like, she couldn't figure it out, dude. And Leroy just goes as loud as you could hear. The old don't like technology.
Oh, Leroy. Jesus.
-1.
No. I was just saying what he was thinking. So if you give me a -1, he's always something.
Why? I wouldn't say that to her. I wouldn't say it
-1.
to her face.
Wait, that's not even the worst part. So we go through the thing and so now there's a conveyor belt. You put all your stuff in the conveyor belt, right? And then if you're selected to get an arm just kicks your stuff to a different conveyor belt behind the glass.
Yeah, they ban your stuff.
Right.
They banish your stuff to another line.
So we're by this lady, right? She goes, I got frisked, right?
Like
she said
Marcos,
it like that.
You ever see Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Picture his grandma.
All right.
She goes, I got frisked. You should have. And I said, so
I
said to her,
she was delighted.
Yeah, she was like kind of excited. So
little pep in her step.
Okay.
She said the lady asked her if she had any sensitive areas. Right? This is what the lady. I'm having this conversation with this lady. I said, you should have told her. I do, but they haven't been touched in a while. She goes, that's not accurate. I'm out.
Wow.
And she kind of just like, you could just see, she gave a little winky wink to Leroy. Wink. Yeah. Grandma was getting down apparently.
Right. That's not even the trip. That's just on the way home.
That's just the way home. We got plenty to get to from it. Let's get to some headlines. Brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Hey,
I know you couldn't wait. Hold on. I tried. Wait. Let me give my side of the story.
Whoa. Well.
I have tried to put this off by talking about other stuff. But there's no avoiding this. I am in a position that Tobin has been for 7 years. And all I can say is I feel dirty. I feel uncomfortable, but I ain't backing down.
Wow.
I ain't backing down.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Leroy, he's a measured man, like he's not a guy who goes like me, flies by the seat of his pants, has hosed down a many with hot takes. He keeps his hot takes pretty close to the vest. He's got a few out there that he'll really go at. Tim Tebow, but there's been one man I think that has really, really angered Leroy Horde.
He started it.
Really angered Leroy Horde. And Leroy takes great delight in his failures. That man also happens to be the newest starting cornerback for your Miami Dolphins.
Leroy.
Hey, dude, can I just tell you? I don't know what we were doing. All of a sudden, my phone goes nuclear. And old Smiley over here could not wait.
Well, the thing here's what was funny about it. Somebody because they put a list of Dolphins cornerbacks that they were working out.
Oh.
Obviously, we know we got the word Jalen Ramsey had surgery. We talked about this on Friday. He's going to be out probably until December. And so they have this list of cornerbacks who they're working out. And like the first name listed was Eli Apple. And we're like, what are the odds? Dude sucks.
And I'm like, no.
Yep. And sure enough, we get to the end of the show. What was it? Was it Friday night or Saturday morning? I don't remember what the official word was. But all of a sudden, mind you, we're 3 hours behind. So the news is happening fast. And Leroy, his phone is getting lit up like a Christmas tree. Boop, 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 boop. Eli Apple is a Miami Dolphin.
You think my friend and my boy would sympathize with me knowing the fight that I've been in for the last 3 years with Eli Apple because he trashed my city.
Yeah.
Now he trashed. That's how it started.
Yes.
Now let's forget the fact that he went to Ohio State, which is an added. But he's trashed also my city.
He's a genuine trash talker. And he's had very public beef with his new teammate Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
So much so that Mike McDaniel had to go to Tyreek Hill and let them know, hey, we're thinking of doing this. Like, and by the way, Tyreek Hill's first response is practice is going to be fun on Monday.
Right. So I'm getting blown up. Then somebody puts out video of me in one of my more defiant moments. I'm not proud. But I ain't eating it. My issues with Eli Apple started when he trashed my city.
Right.
He trashed my hometown. Right? And if you want...
How many teams has Eli Apple been on and he's like 26?
He played for... I know he was in the Super Bowl with Cincinnati.
I know it was Cincinnati. He was with the Giants. That's who drafted him.
And then one more team.
He was with the Saints, obviously.
The Saints.
Apparently, he had a stint in Carolina. So he is
Carolina,
27 years old, and the Dolphins are his fifth team.
Right. So clearly, I'm not the only person.
I mean, we enjoy very much any Eli Apple content that was dude getting burnt toast. Like,
right.
Like new Eli Apple, like we'd like the meme. Eli Apple's New Jersey, and it's just burnt toast. Hilarious.
Right.
But now that's our guy, baby.
Look.
That's my guy, Eli Apple. I love that guy.
I will be a team player. But you gotta know. Like, Mike McDaniel should have came and talked to me too.
I agree. I think McCoach should have addressed this with
because there's a difference in trash talk on the field and trash talk on one city. Right? You see how when I talk about Miami and the Canes, how people come after me.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine how I went after Eli Apple when he said the food in New Orleans wasn't that good. And I was like, it would have tasted better if you had covered somebody. Right? That's how it started.
Yeah, what was his exact tweet? Eli.
And leave it to my boy. My friend.
Well, it's just
to have the tweet saved and ready to go.
It's just nice. It's nice to have the shoe on. Oh, here it is.
Read Eli's first.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Eli Apple New Orleans is the dirtiest, smelliest city and has the worst food ever. It's that swine and crawfish that's killing y'all brains. Damn.
I had to do something.
Oof. I mean, oof. All right, let's see. Big Mouth Leroy at Eli Apple. All right.
This is a worst case scenario for Leroy.
Yeah.
This is essentially James Harden joining the Heat.
Leroy tweets to him, those comments coincide with your play in New Orleans.
Point.
So, listen. Valid points.
I'm going to retweet it.
Point for
So now.
Well, listen, I mean, it's just good that the shoe's on the other foot. I hope now that we don't have
But
any.
it's not.
You know.
Wait. I have a basis for my comments. Sometimes you just go at players. James Harden ain't never say nothing about you or Miami.
He's honestly said nothing. He seems like a lovely man.
Right.
All he's ever done is be compared to Dwayne Wade by dummies. Like it's
it's
not like James Harden's out here.
But
I feel like actually
James Harden ain't comparing himself.
No, James Harden
ain't saying he's been okay.
You know what?
Yep.
Hold on. You're totally right. He's not like Monta Ellis, who actually one time said, I'm like Dwayne Wade, except without all the accomplishments. And I was like, what? Yes, if you guys don't remember that, former Bucks guard, Warriors fame, but when he was on the Bucks leading into a series with the Heat, you had two crazy things. You had Brandon Jennings say that the Bucks were going to beat the LeBron, D Wade, Chris Paul. He said they were going to win in 6. And Monta Ellis said, I really believe that I'm as talented as any guard. I'm basically Dwayne Wade without the accomplishments.
See,
all he has is a couple championships and all-stars. And I was like, what? James Harden's never done that.
But you went at James Harden anyway, right?
Deserved.
This is not my situation. I don't randomly go at guys. He trashed my city.
I understand.
And he's a Buckeye.
I understand.
Okay.
It's not a lot of stuff up until this point, there's not a lot of reason for you to say anything good about Eli Apple.
I mean,
and by the way, you and Tyreek Hill are in the same boat.
I know. It just imagine we in the same, so I don't know how to feel about this.
I know how you feel. Awkward. Because here's the thing. You don't know how to like shamelessly wiggle your way out like I do. Like, you have some level of shame as to which I do not. Like,
listen, all I can say is that's right. I said it. I own it. There was a reason behind it. I stick by it. He trashed my city. And as a side note, he's a Buckeye. That in itself requires a response that I felt as a NOLA boy. I felt I had to do something.
Well,
there's nobody else from New Orleans.
Well, this is going to be a test. Are you going to? I know in games you'll root for success, obviously. Yes.
Yeah,
but if practice footage comes out of Tyreek Hill toasting him, are you going to laugh?
I already know what's going to happen. I already know what's going to happen, right? Tyreek Hill is going to hit him with a slant and go. Woo! And you're going to see Tyreek Hill running down the field and no Eli Apple in the picture. It's been happening his whole career. Now, I will say this, that Fangs also knows this and is going to probably put him in better position.
Do we have actually Vic Fangio responding to the first time that Tyreek Hill burns Eli Apple. Do we have Vic Fangio on that?
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you, Fangs, it's coming. So,
oh man,
I need to ask you,
Hmm?
because you're an expert on this. I'm a first timer. I'm a newbie. So, do you root for him now? Do you still keep it? Or you just keep it because he's on the home team? You have the same feelings, but you keep them inside.
Yeah, I'll explain this. I've done this many a times with guys I haven't liked on my own team, but we got to take a break. So you guys can get at us. Stream it on YouTube and Twitch, Miami 560 WQAM. Back from Las Vegas, Tobin and Leroy back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Taking you up until 2 o'clock here, back from Sin City. What a day, what a weekend it was in Las Vegas. What a performance that was by Terence Crawford. My God.
Oh, my goodness. I think what the turn of the fight was this. They were all feeling each other out. And then Spence tried to be a little aggressive. And then he hit the ground. I don't know whether it was a slip or not.
It was not. It was Bud putting him on his ass.
And then he felt like he had to be more aggressive, which played into the hands of Bud even more.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Because I've never seen a guy, and this is the honest truth, counterpunch with that much power.
Well, what did I tell you on Friday? I told you, Bud means business. I told you, dude.
He meant business.
He meant business. He meant business. Stoppage in the 9th round. Probably could have been stopped even earlier than that.
I threw my ticket away after 2 rounds.
Yeah, it was, and it was tough, Marcos, because we were sitting next to actually the Odyssey guys from Dallas, and the guy next to me, real hot taker. He loved him some Errol Spence because Errol Spence is from Dallas, so they love Spence. This Spence. He goes, and he looks at me, he goes, "I can tell you're going for Crawford." I said, "I'm not going for Crawford. I mean, I just think he's gonna win. I mean, I'm sorry, I got an opposite opinion. I like Errol Spence, but just think he's gonna win." Yeah. And first round happens, and I think Errol Spence probably won the first round, but it was a very feel out round. As I said, big fights, there's always a feel out round. But that's about all Bud Crawford needed to feel out, because in the second round he was done feeling. And I told Guy in like a minute into round 2, and I just looked at him and said, "Your boy's in trouble."
Okay, so you went from like not picking sides to immediately saying,
I just wanted to because he was just like, "You're wrong." He's like, "Spence, wrong."
Yeah.
I'm just like, your boy's in trouble.
Hey, after the 7th round,
and then
I told Tobe, this puppy's over. I'm beating the crowd. Because first of all, my knee was on fire because I felt like I did stair climber for about 7 hours. Because first of all, on the way down to our seats, the seats weren't bad.
No, they were good.
Because you get a perfect view.
You can see everything.
Yeah, but it was like demon drop.
Not close enough to get to Damian Lillard, but great for action.
You tried though. You tried. I saw.
I did. They put him on the jumbotron, and I gave him the whale call. I think he heard me. I
feel like he reacted.
I think he did. I feel like he did.
I've never been in a stadium with stairs declining like that.
Yeah, it was something. Beautiful place.
I was going down like an 80-year-old man.
You made the right call to beat the traffic, because I had to stay because I'm a nerd. I had to see history. I had to see Bud Crawford get his belts. But dude, getting out of there, it was something.
Yep.
It was something. The only thing that was good about it is I threw on the UFC. I was able to see the second round and see Dustin Poirier get head kicked, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was
unfortunate. But it was so funny because this guy's like, "Oh no, Spence." He's like, and then he just kept doubling down on hot takes. He goes, "But he can't knock out Errol Spence. He can't knock him out." I said, "Dude, he's gonna get knocked out." Like, are you watching how fast like Terence Crawford's hitting him?
Bro, those counter punches.
Oh, it's brutal. He hit him with an uppercut that he just like Spence had no idea where it came from, and it was when he hit him with that was the beginning of the end. It was over.
Forget the fact that his face started looking like ground meat.
Yep. And Crawford was just such a savage. He comes to the ring because Errol Spence's name, he calls himself the Big Fish. He does like a lot of his gear has shark on it. And the coldest thing I've seen in ring attire, because we were talking about ring attire on Friday.
Right. A net.
Terence Crawford wearing fishing net is one of the coldest trolls I've ever seen in my life.
Not to mention Eminem.
Oh, dude.
Are you kidding me, dude?
He gets Eminem.
Kidding me?
And you know that happened on like 20. I don't know if possibly they played it up, but I imagine Eminem could get to Vegas in 24 hours. But apparently Terence Crawford just asked on social media, goes, who should walk me to the ring? And Errol, and a lot of people were saying Eminem. And so Eminem commented on his Instagram and he goes, like, you're one of my favorite fighters. I was like, whatever, let's do it. And Eminem walks him out. And it was really, really cool. Doesn't sing, which was a smart move by him. He just introed him. He goes, the next undisputed champion, Terence Mother Bleeping Crawford. Place goes nuts. It was honestly almost over from there.
And they played the perfect song.
Mom Spaghetti.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Man.
And that was a wise move because Spence came out to, I'm assuming, a Texas artist. And he was like trying to catch the beat in the beginning. And I was like,
he was a little off. Did that come through on TV? Because I noticed he didn't catch it till like midway through the
Exactly. That definitely came through. And you see that a lot, though. You constantly see these artists.
It's hard because you don't have it in your ear. You're listening to the and the other thing is that the screen that we were watching was like 2 seconds off. Like not even 2 seconds.
It was like a half second. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So it would like
it'd be like a punch. That's like how you would see it. Like if you saw it live, it was finishing out.
Well, look, Eminem didn't mess up though. He knew exactly what the hell to do.
It was
perfect. It really was perfect.
And Eminem with a beard.
Yeah,
he's an adult now.
He is. He's grown. But it was cool for Terence Crawford. I was happy for him. That's a historic. Becomes the first man to ever be undisputed in 2 weight classes.
Think about this, and this is where, me and Tobin go at it at times when we talk about sports. Sometimes when you watch sports, you have to sit back and just recognize greatness. I don't have a problem, and the guys who rooted for Spence were complaining about what Spence tried to do or what he was doing. I don't have a problem with Spence. What you saw was a dominant fight by Bud.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter what Spence did. He wasn't winning that fight, and you could tell early.
Well, here's the thing that makes him great. This is the thing with Terence Crawford. Maybe we talked all week about his versatility. And all he did was basically turn Spence's strengths against him because he fought the entire fight southpaw and battered him with a jab, which are his 2 weapons of Errol Spence. Right. He's just that dude. He's so good. And it was
we just recognize great. He is. That fight looked like it looked like what's his name? The undefeated guy. Why do I?
Floyd?
Mayweather.
Yeah.
He looked like Mayweather with more power.
Yeah.
Because the way he countered and the power he was countering with was something you don't see very often.
A lot of people have said this about Bud Crawford for a while. He just hasn't gotten the opponents to really solidify himself because he was with Top Rank. They didn't have the stable that Showtime does. Al Heyman, PBC, but just break it down for the Showtime network does. And so like people would always say, is Errol Spence passed him by? Where is Terence Crawford? Really, is Canelo better pound for pound? Is Inoue pound for pound? Tyson Fury? But this is why a lot of the boxing hardcores have said, no, the best boxer in the sport, bar none, is Bud Crawford. And so it was just really cool to see a guy not only make history, but get to solidify himself in that position. That's what was so cool about it.
Right.
And you could tell like it meant something to him. Like he was really moved that he finally got to shut a lot of people up. And I don't know if they're going to do a rematch. I know it's in the clause and Errol Spence says he wants to. I don't really see the purpose of it. If I was Errol Spence, Errol Spence had been taking a lot of time off after wins. I feel like he needs to take some time off after getting battered like that. Crawford looks like he can fight in 3 months.
He didn't get touched.
He could go fight Boots Ennis if he wanted to. Tim Tszyu. He could go fight. Jermell Charlo is going to be fighting Canelo. They were getting into it a little bit though, because Spence and Charlo are teammates. And after he knocked down Errol Spence, he starts going and yelling at Charlo in the stands. So it was really, really cool. Meanwhile, the NBA is trying to screw us.
Oh, I see that.
And I'm not having it. That's next.
We've got
you see the heat there in control? Can you feel it? I feel it. Can you see it? I see it. It's Miami.
Oh man, I haven't heard this in a while. I miss basketball.
Yeah.
I miss basketball so much. I miss the heat. That being said, football. Oh, football's back. I think the
back.
I think the pads go on today, dude.
Oh boy.
That's when real football is made. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of questions. Those questions will start being answered today. If there's any questions about this team, it's centered around one group of men, and that's the O-line.
Yep.
Especially when no real substantial moves have been made.
Not really.
So they're telling you one or two things. There was nothing out there to be made, no moves out there to be made, or they feel that this group of men and this group of offensive linemen are going to take that next step.
Hopefully. I mean,
hopefully, like,
hopefully
but again, a lot of times with these situations, all we have is the information we got last year.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily know what the team is thinking about those positions.
Well,
and so if we had a clear understanding of which they're never going to tell you.
No.
So that's the biggest question in the beginning or the start of this camp, these pads, preseason, the start of the season. The most important positions on the field are the positions that either get after the quarterback or protect your quarterback.
All right, so let's get to this. We'll get back into football in just a bit, including a Tuas Jiujitsu update, which I'm very excited to get to. The NBA embarrassed itself this weekend. Embarrassed itself. And Joe Cronin and the Blazers have embarrassed themselves. Because
that came from Joe Cronin?
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, so if you guys don't know, if you guys were busy this weekend, on Friday, the NBA apparently had sent out a memo to all 30 teams regarding Damian Lillard and his agent, Aaron Goodwin. And they reprimanded them. They tried to embarrass Damian Lillard and they tried to embarrass Aaron Goodwin for using the media for leverage, which I don't know about you, has basically been done since the beginning of time.
The beginning of time. Correct.
It's always been used.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny. It's interesting that Damian Lillard, he decides to do all of a sudden. We're making an example out of Damian Lillard, which is hilarious. And they put out this statement to basically warn Damian Lillard and Aaron Goodwin to not imply in the media that he would be unhappy going anywhere else besides the Miami Heat, which is crazy to me because you guys know if Damian Lillard had a loan trade request to the Lakers, if he had a loan trade request to the Celtics, the Knicks, whomever, Sixers, if it was any of these Northeast teams or one of the glamour franchises, you know that it would be like, oh, well, it is what it, you wouldn't hear from any of these NBA media nerds, any of these people.
My question is, why is it coming out now? Because this is, like you said, this has been going on since the beginning of time where guys have demanded where they want to be traded. In fact, James Harden is doing the same thing.
Exactly. Yes. You're right, Leroy. You're right. He only wants to be traded to the Clippers. And you want to know why James Harden doesn't have to put out a statement or doesn't have to play any? Because people know that James Harden will tank a season. They know. He'll show up in a fat suit, out of shape. He's done this.
Yes.
Jiu-jitsu, that guy's got a black belt in tanking his own value. He knows
Not only
exactly how
that,
to
James
do it.
Harden has done it 2 other times.
Yes, Leroy. Yes. And here's the thing that's crazy about it. This is the thing that makes me most mad about it is I find all of this stuff just oozes phoniness all around, right? Cronin, liar. The NBA, fake outrage. The only guy who's been honest in all of this and stand up in all of this has been Damian Lillard. All he said was, I wanted to compete in Portland. This Cronin, He sits him down at the end of last year to tank their season, increase their probability of getting ping pong balls. He then gets a gift of a top 3 pick. Does he use it to improve his team? No. Like a snake, he goes back on his word to Damian Lillard and he drafts his replacement. So, what is Damian Lillard to do? Meets with them. They want to keep things hush-hush. But what does Cronin do? Oh, no, we're still trying to build around Dame. Still trying to do it. Liar. And so Damian Lillard finally has to take things into his own hands after being one of the most stand-up dudes in the league. And this NBA, this Adam Silver, has the balls to embarrass one of their best role models in the league, to embarrass him because his franchise lied to him, because they sat him down to get ping pong balls, because this Joe Cronin didn't have the cojones to go and make a big home run move like a big boy. He wanted to be a mouse and rebuild. And you shame Damian Lillard over this. And why? All because he just wants to join Miami. Because I bet your ass if he wanted to be traded to the New York Knicks, we wouldn't hear a peep. You know, if it was the Lakers, shh. But because he wants to go down here, and you know how look, this media is so crazy about it. They can't take the badgering and the bullying from Heat Twitter. They're so uncomfortable in their own skin. They can't take any of these guys who are getting in their mentions. They're fried for the entire weekend because Heat Twitter's got them such in a blender. But the idea that listen to this, Leroy. Recent NBA media reports say that Damian Lillard's agent, Aaron Goodwin, called multiple NBA teams to warn them against trading for Lillard because Lillard's only desired destination is Miami. Goodwin also made public comments indicating that Lillard would not fully perform the services called for under his player contract if traded to another team. We interviewed Goodwin and Lillard and spoke with several NBA teams whom Goodwin spoke. He denied stating or indicating that any team that Lillard would refuse to play for them. Goodwin and Lillard affirmed to us that Lillard would fully perform the services called for under his player contract in any scenario. The relevant teams provided descriptions of the communications with Goodwin that were mostly, though not entirely, consistent with Goodwin's statement to us. We've advised Goodwin and Lillard that any future comments made privately to teams or publicly suggesting that Lillard would not fully perform the services called for under his player contract in the event of a trade will subject Lillard to discipline by the NBA. We have also advised the Players Association that any similar comments by players or their agents will be subject to discipline going forward.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I'm going to tell you where this is going. Because now Cronin is going to think like the store is open now. Like he can go shop for whatever. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And in 2 or 3 days, there may be a deal on the table to go somewhere else. And then Damian Lillard's going to have to make a decision. And it's unfortunate, and here's why. It's unfortunate that one of your all-time franchise players is being dragged through the mud by a team he's done nothing but good for, and a franchise he's done nothing but good for. Now, in all these other scenarios, in all these other players, in all these other teams, they have respected that player enough to grant them their wishes. Right?
Yep.
And in fact, a lot of these situations and circumstances, the player helps out the team, even when he's a free agent, by doing a sign and trade. Okay? Yep. So that even though their contract is up, they still get something. Yet, for some reason, and here's where I go with this. The jackasses don't have to worry about this. It's always the stand-up guys. And I don't know why we are like this in society where we think the stand-up guy can be run over. But enough is enough. Portland, I don't care where Damian Lillard says he wants to go. He's done so much for your franchise. You honor that. like all other teams have done.
Yeah, have honor for the first time, Cronin, because you didn't have honor last year. You lied. You said, "Oh, we're going to
what's the NBA going to do about teams sitting their star player to get a better draft pick?"
Where's your statement on that, dude? Where are you, Adam Silver, to tank for ping pong balls with your dumbass play-in tournament? Which, by the way, thank you for that. The Heat got a better situation for the playoffs with your dumbass play-in tournament. Oh, we're going to fix tanking. You did it with the Blazers. You did it with the Blazers. All because Damian Lillard thought, maybe we'll get something to trade. Give me a running mate. Oh, no, my GM's a liar. Well, let's, you know who deserves shame on that? Damian Lillard, apparently.
But here's what you have to understand in this. Okay. And here's why that statement had to go out. Because Adam Silver is an employee of the owners. So whether that letter means anything or not, if there's a complaint from the Portland Trail Blazers, he has to do something. You see what I mean?
Does he? Like what? Like
yes.
Why?
Yes. Because he's employed by the owners.
Because the Blazers GM is a coward and he doesn't want to negotiate.
Whatever you say, whatever you want to call it.
Doing this to Damian Lillard among all players is a disgrace.
But that's what happens when you're a stand-up guy.
It's a disgrace. And that's the thing that I don't think this means anything in negotiations. I don't think this means anything as far as will he end up Miami, will he not end up in Miami. I don't think, like, there was some fodder that they would veto trades to the Miami Heat. Good luck with that. The thing that I find embarrassing about it, you're shaming publicly Damian Lillard of all people. Damian Lillard deserves shame. He deserves shame, not the tankers, not the liars. Damian Lillard for being honest when nobody else in this whole situation would be.
And in fact, he was more honest before the whole situation in draft played out. He said to Portland, hey, if we don't try to build something around me and you decide to rebuild, I want out. And they didn't even, they didn't even consider his feelings there.
No.
So why all of a sudden care about Damian Lillard so much?
Only Damian Lillard. If Kevin Durant, when Kevin Durant last year, let me ask you this. When Kevin Durant last year was threatening to bring all hell to the Brooklyn Nets if they didn't fire Steve Nash and Sean Marks, where was the statement? Where was the statement? Where was the statement? Because he only wanted one team. Oh, because he had a fake list. Oh, maybe I'll go to Miami. No, you want to go to Phoenix. That's fine. Fine. What's fair? You want to go to Phoenix? Go to Phoenix. But you're threatening to get people fired? Okay. Is that under his contract? Where's the statement? When James Harden showed up in a fat suit, where's your statement? Where's your statement? When Anthony Davis is faking injuries so he can only go to the Lakers, where's your statement? Where is it? No, Damian Lillard gets a statement. Oh, okay. Interesting. Take a break. Well, why is that? Well, let me do the calculations on that. Oh, because he wants to go to the Heat. You guys are smart enough to see it. You're not sheep. There's a bunch of sheep out there. Bah, CBS Sports. Bah, The Ringer. Bah, ESPN. Sheep. Sheep, dude. Adam Silver, shame on you. Back up to this.
Text W
Tua Tonga Valoa, not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort, Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM, taking you up until 2 here on the show. If you missed any of the show, get the Tobin and Leroy podcast for you, available on all podcast platforms, and the Odyssey app is where you guys can listen to us on the air. Let's get to some headlines here, brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
All right, Leroy. We have gotten a very important update from Mike McDaniel on Tua Tagovailoa and his jiu-jitsu. Let us hear from McCochin on Tua's BJJ and how he's using it in practice.
You know, with Coach Paloka and Kyle Johnston and how they, vetted whoever the master of jiu-jitsu would be. I think it was really cool from an organizational standpoint and from Tua's standpoint. And I feel great about the results. We've only had one time in camp so far in live action that it was in OTAs, actually. In OTAs, he got stepped on and he fell down backwards and completed a backwards somersault. It's pretty sweet.
Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo! Business is picked up, boys.
Goosies.
Wow. Football, dude. Marcos, football, right?
Marcos.
That goes beyond.
No.
It goes beyond.
I'm not going to sit here and see you with that smirk because I know what the hell you thinking. And then all of a sudden buy in.
What?
No.
What do you mean?
No.
Why?
Don't be fraudulent, Marcos.
Dude,
I know what that look means.
he did a
backflip, dude.
He said, you got to be bleeping me. We having this conversation.
What are you talking about?
Backwards.
He got his toe stepped on and he decided to do a backflip.
Yeah, no, backwards somersault. Well, that's how you do it. You know, you brace falls right into the somersault. That's how you do it in jiu-jitsu. It's one of the first things you learn. It means he's taking it to the field, dude. This is great stuff.
It also was with no pads and then OTAs.
Doesn't matter.
Dude, can I just tell you something? Let me say this as honestly as I can.
Great.
It's not when you can prepare for it. It's when you can't.
Exactly.
Okay. So
you think he was prepared?
Here's what I would do personally.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the BJJ is all great.
Seems like
and it's a good skill to pick up on or what have you. But entertain me for a second.
Sure.
And here's what gets me. So we're going to sit here and have a conversation about Tua's preparation to get sacked while not having a conversation of trying to stop him from getting hit so damn much.
Well, again, I understand.
No. You got to answer my question.
Okay, but here's what
because we still got that same offensive line, so they're basically saying we better get Tua ready for some awkward situations.
Well, the falls were all very awkward though, especially the one against the Bills. I mean, he got shove-skied. You know, if he could have done a somersault, who knows? Braced his fall.
Now, what's the difference between a somersault and a flip?
A flip is you go aerodynamic, you go into the air. Like if you saw Justin Gaethje after this.
When's the last time you've been off the ground to be explaining this?
Well, you asked.
Okay.
Somersault is you're kind of like almost like a backwards Sonic the Hedgehog, if you will. On the
Like a
ground.
roll.
Yeah, like a backwards roll.
But when you say somersault, I'm thinking you're airborne.
No, don't be silly. That's a backflip. Everybody knows. You think Tua's out there like Cirque du Soleil?
Which, by the way,
I did think
they have a show in every casino.
Yep.
No, they do, but like you sound silly. You think Tua's out here, he's doing backflips like he's come on. He's not
Next year he's going to practice on the ropes.
He's not an acrobat.
Next year he's going to be practicing on the ropes.
Actually, this has inspired Mike McDaniel. He now says because they didn't practice hitting, quarterback doesn't get hit, Leroy, non-contact jersey. But they have actually implemented drills now in Dolphins land to get the team ramped up for QBs taking hits.
We found that there's certain drills that we can apply to all the quarterbacks because you're right. It was something that really talking to Teddy Bridgewater last year randomly, he was like, yeah, it's so irritating. Like we go 0 to 60. It's like, okay, well, that is true. That's what a wild existence. So we've done our best to come up with some drills so that they can fall over.
So can I ask a question?
It's just me pushing them. It's not.
Love
we have to check to make sure he's done.
No, I know you. Well, you love to jump in on him.
Well, because you don't know when he's going to stop.
Well,
so
kills the punchline.
We're taking advice from Teddy Bridgewater, and you decided that you weren't going to retain his services?
Well, it wasn't really advice. It was just an interesting observation from Teddy Bridgewater.
And as long as he's been around football, we haven't picked up on that quarterbacks go from 0 to 60?
Not
because they don't get touched ever in practice?
Right. So now
that's nothing new.
We're changing the game.
You didn't need Confucius to come and drop that tidbit of information to you.
Wasn't Confucius, it was Teddy Bridgewater. I don't understand. So you don't think it's a great thing that they're prepping for this?
I just like.
You know what I call this?
What?
Covering all your bases, dude.
You know what I would like to do?
What's that?
Cover all the defenders.
I understand, but like Leroy, this as a footballer, as a professional, sometimes chaos happens. And what do you do if you're not prepared for chaos?
But you can minimize it.
You're right. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Having better protection.
Understood. However, even the best protection sometimes breaks down. And in those situations, wouldn't you like it if Tua knew how to do a somersault?
So, and just hear me out on this.
Right.
If you have to get your quarterback ready for unnecessary hits, then basically what you're saying is you don't trust offensive line?
No, dude. Here's the thing. See, this is why you're silly. I respect your opinion.
There's 31 other teams.
Nope. I respect your opinion. That's okay. It's a copycat league. Once everybody sees what the Dolphins are doing and they realize, then all of a sudden you'll see Joe Burrow in a gi. Okay. So just so we're clear.
He didn't get hurt getting pushed. He got hurt doing nothing.
He's just got bad legs, apparently. Won't hear anything about it, though. Anyway, my point is, you just want to cover your base. When we're on the plane, right? Okay. Do I really think I'm going to need to know how to blow into my life vest? No. But it's nice to cover your base.
Can I just tell you something? I do a show with an idiot. Marcos, here's where this man went to try to explain to me why two of these BJJ. Do we no, I'm not. Dude, I gotta tell you what. I gotta tell you, if we get ready for a water landing, the last thing you're gonna be thinking about is whether I blew up my life vest. Because I gotta tell you, we barely got off the runway yesterday.
Oh, it was so scary.
Dude, We were driving zigzag down the runway. No lie. We did like that. Then we went up. I'm like, whoa. Meanwhile, I'm already a little anxious about flying because I'm not a big fan of flying. The lady behind me was not helping.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
You can't call an audible out for anxiety.
Anxiety. Right? Like, okay, we'll stop the wind. Like,
so yes, you're right. Obviously, the best part is let's have a good pilot, right? So let's have a good O-line. That's numero uno. In that case, you got to make sure Tua's got the life vest. And the life vest is jiu-jitsu.
The hell just happened there?
I don't know, but he kind of tied it in. And
Thank you.
I'm scared that I understand what he was trying to say because it's not like me. Like, this is something I would fight, but I think the Eli Apple situation got me shook. I'm shook. So I may be agreeing with you more just because I'm shook by this Eli Apple thing. I ain't backing down, but I'm just shook because I'm caught in an awkward, uncomfortable situation that I don't normally get caught in.
We close the segment with this. Schmeeth and Schmolnick says Tua does BJJ, Tobin does PBJ.
Point for Twitter.
We've got more Dolphins training camp coverage today, and we'll keep you posted on the rest.
Wish you was a better corner, bro. Then the game-winning touchdown would have been scored on you.
I mean, at least be close to him, right?
Wasn't even close.
Where do you think that guy's going? He's not running a hitch, dude. Nobody wants a bad, trash-talking athlete.
You had your guy. You immediately thought, good, Eli Apple failed. I went down.
But he sucked.
He did suck. Oh, he was awful.
Dude, he sucked. You just had 100+ million people watch how bad you suck. I tried to keep it buttoned down for the whole show.
Toast.
But Eli Apple, come see me, you bum.
Oh, no.
Come see me. Come see me.
Wow.
Let's talk about that Louisiana food. Food tastes better for winners.
Bro, the only advice I want from Eli Apple is breakfast because you burnt toast.
Yes. You ain't Jalen Ramsey. You can't talk trash.
Wow. I like this. It's great having the shoe on the other foot. How you doing, Leroy?
Well, I was extremely entertained by the Twitchers. And let me just read some of these.
Uh-huh.
Game Boy says John Denny was the black box of the plane. Wait, here's my favorite one. Tua has to learn how to be like a piece of spaghetti when you tackle him. Whatever the hell.
True. Very good point. Very good point.
No, it's not.
RVA Richie says the Tobin is strong in Leroy.
Dude, come on. Oh, man.
Al Macco says those receipts got pulled harder than the IRS audit.
Oh, yeah. But guess what?
What?
Here's the difference. There ain't nothing that I said that wasn't true.
Well,
no, go. Name one thing that I have.
I'm not saying anything you said wasn't true. Just like when I say what I say, it's not true.
No.
Sometimes the facts change.
You went at a guy for saying nothing. You go after James Harden. James Harden didn't say that nonsense.
I don't know, but I'm liking watching right now. I'm reading because practice is going on. And so fans are intense, which means we get live tweets from the reporters. And from Daniel Wifusi from the Miami Herald, Raheem Mostert just got stonewalled and pancaked to the ground by undrafted rookie DT Brandon Pilley on a run stuff. Pads are on.
You know what I call that?
What?
That's those landmines that veterans have to avoid, right? You out there, you out there get ready for a season. There's somebody out there trying to make the team.
Yeah.
You got to be aware at all times that it. So, say for example, if Javon Holland come down, right, he gonna butt you up because y'all getting ready for the season. But if undrafted linebacker comes down, you better put your mouthpiece in. It's go time. Got to avoid those landmines.
Omar Kelly adds that he threw Mostert and celebrated. Pads are on. He got a talking to from coaches after his celebration. I bet that was, hey, that's our starting running back.
No, that wasn't it.
Then what was it?
It was.
Good job.
No, it was. Hey, if you're gonna talk trash like that and celebrate like that, you better do it every time.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Also, apparently, we have our first interception in camp from Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, of course.
Apparently, it's been, though, a very heated backup quarterback battle. That's what the word is on the street is. And that maybe Skylar's getting the best of Mike White. Even though Mike White's got got the backup deal. I think he's getting like 4.5 guaranteed on an $8 million contract. So we'll see. Maybe we haven't had a lot of luck with the local guys coming back. I got to be honest with you. It seems like
you admit that.
We've touched
because you are excited about the local guys.
Well, we've touched every county. We had Jacoby Brissett in Palm Beach. We had Bridgewater last year, Dade, and now we have Mike White from Broward. And I'm not saying he won't do good. Maybe he will. I'm just saying like it hasn't worked out as of yet with the local kids coming back.
I mean, Jacoby Brissett had his best year as a pro with the Browns.
Not with the Dolphins.
Not with the Dolphins.
Not with the Dolphins.
Right.
Not with the Dolphins. He was terrible.
But here's the other thing you have to understand, and sometimes this is a hard thing for people to understand. Usually, the guys who have the best success as a backup are the guys that are closest to your starter. And there weren't many guys that they brought in that play similar to Tua. Because one of the things that Tua is extremely accurate.
Yeah.
And so if you bring in a backup quarterback that hasn't been in his career very accurate, it ain't going to never look right.
Travis Wingfield says Jalen Waddle gets 5 yards of separation on a double move against Eli Apple, but Skylar Thompson's throw was too long.
Hey.
Oof.
What did I tell you?
Well,
I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know what the route is. It was some kind of slant and go, stop and go, something like that. That dude likes to eat. So he's biting on everything.
Doesn't like to eat in New Orleans, though.
Nope, he
Apparently
didn't.
not.
And New Orleans didn't like him eating there. So there.
There's also a great tweet from Travis that just has a football term I've never heard of, but I like it.
What?
Tua tries the honey hole with Tyreek Hill, splitting the high-low defenders. What the hell's the honey hole?
What is a honey hole?
What's
You
a
ready?
honey hole? I like that.
I'm going to tell you what it is.
It's right next to the bread basket.
Minus
Oh,
one.
it's pretty close.
-1.
This is the bread basket.
Yeah.
The honey hole is the distance between the deep safety and the linebackers.
Ah.
So you create a honey hole by doing play action, right? Because the linebacker got to step up, and then it creates space. Honey hole.
But why?
Huh?
But why honey?
I don't know. He
Is
just
it-
gave it that name, try to be creative.
Is
but
it like
that's
you're
what it is?
you're like avoiding the bees? Like you're avoiding a sting because it's between the linebacker and safety. There's the honey.
Yep.
The honey, like the sweet spot
That's the sweet spot.
in
Okay.
the secondary.
It's not like when
If you look at most of the success that tight ends have, it's usually one or two areas: crossing in front of a deep dropping linebacker, or play action and hitting them over the top of that linebacker.
D. Matthews says, "Sweet spot on the field. Come on, Tobin." I never heard of it because like the way I'm picturing honey hole is like
No, don't. Nobody cares what you picture because your picture has nothing to do with football or anything like that.
No, it does because
Yogi.
I was exactly. I'm picturing Tua in a forest, and he's trying to throw it like where like a bee's hive is, and there's there's honey there. You know how like Pooh Bear would always go, honey. You know,
And that's why I said don't.
I'm high as a kite, Yogi.
because then you have like when somebody hits a
You
three.
know what I realized? I have to be here, or nobody would learn a damn thing about what's going on the football field.
What, dude? I'm just saying. Honey hole. I love that.
If somebody didn't explain what it was before you got set free, everybody would be walking around this city wondering what the hell is the honey hole. He meant the sweet spot.
I like that. No, listen, shout out Travis. I mean, this is a big football guy. He knows.
Still
Dade
gotta
South
put it-
knew. Dade South knew too. He was trying to teach me some football.
Right here in the bread basket and the honey hole.
No,
They're
bread
close.
basket's
Dude.
totally
They're
different.
close.
Bread
No.
basket, or like say if the quarterback throws it and hits him in the stomach right
Yep.
here, hit him right in the bread basket.
See, I was thinking like basically like back in the day. You know, remember how like how Larry Bird used to go practice on a farm? You know, he had this basket on a dirt driveway. I picture like an
He
old
was
time
8, dude. He was
Yeah.
8 years old.
I picture like an old time quarterback throwing at a hole in a tree. That's the honey hole.
Wow.
Yep. But I was wrong. I'm glad you taught me. You teach me that football. I like it.
That's how old Oyster Burns learned how to pitch. Just throw
That's
me
right.
that tree.
Yep. Well, then
Clearly, he didn't pitch well enough because he still had to sell oysters in the offseason.
well, there wasn't a CBA back then.
Oh my goodness.
Honey hole. I like that. Is I don't know.
Did you ever draw up that play? Did you draw up anything in the honey hole?
No, I will now, though. I'll add to it.
Bootleg Scoot Boogie.
Yeah.
Dude.
What?
You do realize that the play that you draw has to cover everything.
I know. Leroy was explaining to me last night. We were on the ride home from the airport. He was explaining plays to me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right. Because I just feel like I just got to hit him with some razzle dazzle and it'll be good. I think I can do it, though.
Because here's the deal. You got to protect it. If you're going to be back there tossing the ball back and forth to one another for like 2 or 3 seconds, like somebody got to be blocking for a long period of time. You never took that into consideration. You just think, oh, they're going to stand there and go, ooh, which way is the ball going? No.
Right in the honey hole.
They're going to go hit somebody.
Speaking of honey hole, it's time for Leroy's game balls and game bums. That's next.
Previously on.
Hey, boo-boo, we're going to do some blow.
I'm high as a kite, Yogi.
This guy's a ball. Oh, baby. It is that time on a Monday. Leroy Horde gathers around the locker room. It's not all right, oh no. It is a different game, completely different. It's Leroy's game balls and game bums. What do you got from this weekend, Leroy?
So my game ball has to go to Terrence Bud.
Woo! That was boxing utopia for me, man.
To witness that display of boxing firsthand, it's something I'll never forget. You can put that performance up with the Tigers, the Tiger Woods of the world. You can put that up there with what Patrick Mahomes has done. You can put that up there with, to me, with Jimmy Butler's 56 points.
It was so good.
It was like, you very rarely see two fighters with those credentials go into a ring and one guy dominate like that. And Errol Spence is no bum.
No, Errol Spence is great. He's
right.
It's just that Terence Crawford might be an all-time great.
Right. And
well, I should say might be. He is an all-time great. He did something never done in history.
It's very rare that you come out of any arena after seeing a game or a fight or a contest and you have nothing bad to say about the guy that got beat down. It's all for the guy who did the beating. It was like I said, it is a performance that every time you talk about great fights that you've seen, you will mention this fight as far as the dominance of Bud.
Yeah,
you will.
We've got to see some pretty cool moments live. Like,
right,
we got to see Andre Ward's final fight, which was really cool. We got to see Manny Pacquiao, one of his last fights, his last win against Keith Thurman, and now we got to see this with Terence Crawford. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yep.
We gotta give a shout out to our boy Martin for having us out, man.
Yep.
Like, he's the one who put out. He has been really, really good to this show. The dude is awesome. He's always thinking of us, and a great South Florida fan too. Loves his Heat, loves his Dolphins. Tell you what he loves, because Martin's from Argentina. That dude loves Messi. He was showing me some videos, and I was like, man, are you gonna make it out to a Pinks game? He goes, I just want to see him and I want to thank him. And like, it's crazy because he showed me like the video from his house when they won, and like his family's all crying. Argentina wins the World Cup. It was such a beautiful thing. Are you seeing some of these videos of Messi like around Miami? Because there's even more of this. Like, his family will go out to just dinner, and like he's like getting a hero's welcome everywhere he goes.
Yep, as he should.
Oh yeah,
because he is that big of a star to be playing down here in Miami.
It's like royalty. It's really, really, really cool. It's really, really cool.
And again, it's not an American sport. It's a world sport. So you got every nationality, every background, everybody from that's here from all over the world knowing who this dude is.
I believe the Pinks are back in action on Wednesday, I think Wednesday against the Cowardly Lions of Orlando City.
I mean, geez, how many goals? He's already got 3 goals in one game.
Listen, Orlando City's in for a rude awakening, dude. A rude awakening. I don't know how good they are. I know what they don't have. They don't got Messi.
They don't got Messi.
They don't got Busquets.
Jordi Alba, another teammate of his that played on the national team, recently landed in Miami. So it looks like we're getting even better somehow.
Love it.
So we're going to be
all this money come from
Argentina in a couple of.
Essentially, yeah, we are a mini Argentina.
When they go play any international games, we're gonna have no team.
Yeah, whatever.
Worth it, dude.
Worth it, dude. You know who does? You don't want to know who doesn't play international games anymore? Messi, because he just won the World Cup. You know,
my game bum. I'm saving something special for the lady behind me on the plane.
Okay. I thought
But
you were
my
gonna go.
game bum goes to the steering of our plane.
Oh my God.
Dude,
this
it was
scary.
Marcos. It was terrifying. We were like it at any point in time we could have went to the grass on either side. That's how zigzag we was going down the runway while not decelerating ever.
That's scary.
Like,
That's a scary situation.
It almost seemed like the pilot said, if we go faster, we'll straighten out. Like it was,
He doubled down essentially.
he doubled down. And I'm telling you, we got 500 feet off the air when due left. I'm like, oh no, we ain't go. Like, is it that windy?
It was something, dude. It was crazy.
It was terrifying.
I was very scared.
And the only reason why I didn't show how terrified I was because the lady behind me.
It just calls out anxiety.
Right. Like, she might as well have been Peyton Manning saying Omaha. Like, yeah, we're like, yeah, man, we all got it.
Thanks,
The
lady.
plane is going zigzag. We all got angst.
I thought your game bum was going to go to AJ Puck for the worst July I've ever seen in my life.
No, because it's not. It's just it's not a what do you call it? It's not a award for the last month. It's just this weekend.
Yeah, but it was this weekend. Like I got home because I was seeing all the AJ Puck tweets, but Stunt Steve really hates AJ Puck all of a sudden. And like I get home and I turn on my phone, and it just says AJ Puck worse than Heath Bell. I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
But I mean, I look at this month. Here's what we got from AJ Puck.
I think he's hurt.
I don't know.
You don't just go into the tank like that. AJ Bell was always bad. Or Heath Bell. Heath Bell was always bad.
AJ Puck he pitched 10 games this month, 8 innings pitched. He gave up 11 runs in 10 games, 4 home runs, 15 hits, 4 walks. His ERA was 11.4. His batting average against was 366. People hit 366 against him this month.
He's hurt.
I don't know. But the Marlins do have a new closer. They got Dave Robertson from the Mets, who's old, but good.
I'm telling you, he's hurt.
Mets are sellers. I like it. Mets. How about this? The Marlins buyers and the Mets are sellers. Scherzer got traded.
Love it.
They're waving the white flag. Big series starts tonight. 4-game set against the Phils tonight. And Marlins are a half.
They always seem. Isn't this the time of year where the Phils just all of a sudden turn it on? Every year.
We got to see. This is something, dude. But man, AJ Puck, woo, terrible.
I would just like to give a -1 to our plane suspension.
Yeah,
Marcos, we keep talking about it. It was terrifying. Like,
yeah, I know what your favorite show is too, so I know you must have been extra scared.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I said, do we have a trim issue? I'm looking at the wing like I'm trying to identify what the problem is, right? Because like I'm like, V1, you know, V1 means can't turn back. And I'm like thinking we take it off. And you know, when you sitting in the plane, you go from 0 to up in the air relatively quick.
It was like a rocket. It was crazy.
And it seemed to take us a while.
Yeah, we didn't take off for like a good
because we watch it. Keep in mind, especially in Vegas, or even when we took off in Miami, we was like 9th in line.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So we watching all these planes take off, and they seem to be taking off smoothly. And then we go, and I'm like, wow, most of the planes were in the air by now. What's going on? Let me look at the trim. Do we have the did he put the flaps right they need to be? I'm looking for flaps. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm telling you. Yeah.
SDI says Heath Bell was an all-star for the Padres. Puck has never been good. He's not hurt. He just isn't good.
All we care about is what they did here.
He had a good start to the season, SDI. I mean, but he's completely unraveled.
He's got to be hurt. You don't go from being,
I don't think he's hurt. I think he's
hurt?
Now I think he's just shook. I think because I do think that's with the closers. I think that if you don't trust yourself, like you go off the rail. I remember this happened with Matt Lindstrom. Matt Lindstrom was an amazing 8th inning pitcher. Then they gave him the closers role the next year. Stunk. Like just giving up meatball after meatball. Threw threw 102 miles an hour. It didn't matter.
Yeah, you know what 102 miles an hour does? Makes the exit velocity that much faster.
Heath Bell got a big contract with the Marlins. The one thing is AJ Puck doesn't make a lot of money. But Heath Bell, he got a fat cat contract. I mean, he's like the OG fat cat. Kind of looked like Garfield too in a jersey.
We know. You let us know at every turn.
Bum.
All right.
But AJ Puck, yeah, I mean, friend of the show, but our patience is wearing thin. Now, thankfully,
Speaking of thin, AJ Puck.
He is very gangly. Very gangly.
He's thin.
But I did listen. The Marlins are linked to a lot. Now, Cody Bellinger's not getting traded. They were linked to him, but the Cubs are on a run, so they're not trading him. But the Marlins are in a lot of rumors right now. But getting Robertson to solidify, because they were having an issue this month. The bullpen sucked, and to go out there, I'm happy for it. The Marlins are making some moves. Go to break there, David Robertson.
What?
all about building on the last day, and every day you have mistakes, but if today's productive, it's because people are learning, progressing while still competing.
You don't want to lose games, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's going to make us stronger for what we got this year, man. We know what it feels like to go on those 5-game losing streaks. They know what it feels like to go on a 5-game winning streak. So we know those feelings. We just got to make sure we're on the right side of it.
My mentality has changed drastically. I've learned a lot. There's been ups and downs in my past, but like now the mentality is I'm not really worried about the past no more. I'm just focused on the now.
It's been a really blessing to be able to with Clark, Raekwon, Christian, Emmanuel, just meshing. It's on and off the field, like you said. It's kind of like learning each other as a person, as a player.
Human nature is real, and when you're a football player on a football field practicing football, what are you if you're not practicing football? Well, you're a football player that's preparing mentally, but human beings are human beings. Attaboy.
No matter what team you're on, no matter what situation, life itself. So it's really about what you do after that. It's really about how you move forward after whatever happens, whether you get knocked down in life, you got to get back up and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. I think Jalen himself to the team said it best. This is a team. He's a piece of the puzzle. But there's, I'm focused on a lot of players, and if that one player dictated the ultimate success or failure of this team, maybe that you'd lose sleep over it. But a team is something that at the end of the year, your success or failure is determined on how you handle things such as this.
Does that kind of signal people might be sleeping on you a little bit in 2023?
That's Goosey's right there, dude. That's football right there, dude. You know what today is? It's pads are on day. Goosey's. We're clacking and smacking. The pads are on, dude. Leroy, problem?
What the hell did Mike McDaniel say?
Human beings are human beings.
Yeah,
No. He said football is football, but if you're not a football player, then what's your football? I don't know football. Team football.
Exactly. I just got so excited during the break.
Can I just tell you,
Hmm?
never ceases to amaze me.
Me or Meg McDaniel?
You guys are two peas in a pod. Because I've looked at you with that. I think this weekend I looked at you once when you said to one of the doctors.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out that time thing. It gets me. And I'm like, it's automatic on your phone, dude.
I tell you what, it was great, Marcos, going out with new friends. It's great people getting to learn Leroy's weird food takes and not feel so alone. Because I was in the majority for everything. It was great. Because we went to Herbs and Rye, which what a meal. Thank you, Leroy.
Dude.
What a meal.
Dude, I'm telling you, this place, and first of all, let me just say something. I had a reservation for 4, and it ended up being 7 people. And we had a party bus.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, dude.
Oh,
let me tell you something.
It was the most
escalated.
We had the best weekend, and it started with 2 words. Go blue.
Yep.
This was even look in the airport.
This was at Miami International. Some dude
Right.
just sees Leroy wearing his Michigan gear, and he just starts rolling off like players. And he goes, Leroy Horde. He realizes it's Leroy, and a friendship bromanced from there. And these guys were it was a financial advisor and 4 doctors, doctors,
Right.
going to Vegas for a boys trip.
2 cardiologists, a cardiologist, and an orthopedist.
Yep. And these boys are ready to party.
Dude, Let me tell you.
Those guys that had the
I
Cabana?
named them all.
Yeah.
I named them all.
Wow.
One was the quiet doctor. All he did was smile.
Mm.
Then we had the party doctor, who that dude was never stopping. Then we had the sommelier, who every time we got a drink, discussed the origin of the liquor in the drink.
And he was like an older gentleman.
Right.
And he liked to party.
And then the one guy, how can I put this?
No, don't.
He was round and short and a vegan.
And Leroy only wanted to rip him because he was a vegan.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
Like, oh,
we got but we got a bunch of apps, Marcos, and like somebody got like a flatbread pizza, but it had like
yeah,
little,
that was the vegan.
little
He
baby
had the little
tomatoes
tomatoes, and the spinach all over the top of it.
It was so good, dude. It was so good, Marcos. It was so
And-
good.
And he lost some points.
Hmm?
Here's why, Marcos.
Yeah.
He ate it with a fork and knife.
Well, that I can't defend. But Leroy was like, "Oh, it's got the little tomatoes. How can you like that?" And I, I'm usually on this camp. I don't like the veggies on my. But the thing about a baby tomato, Marcos, is it kind of explodes the sauce. Like a little sauce grenade. So I was like, "Damn, this thing's pretty damn good, Leroy. You should try." Won't do it. He wouldn't do it. Wouldn't try it on principle.
Because I had manly appetizers.
No, here's the thing. He tried. So I knew everybody had the spin. This is like a place where you share sides, And so I heard everybody had. So I decided I'm calling an audible. Okay, as a great play caller, this is what I do at a dinner. I say, all right, everybody's got this. I'm gonna go at a fancy restaurant. Sweet potato tater tots.
Okay,
fancy restaurant, dude.
They're passing these tater tots around, and
like,
it gets to me.
No. First of all, they get to the table. You you stop dead in your tracks. You go, and Leroy's at the head. I'm all the way at the back against the wall, and he just looks at me because everybody's got like asparagus, bell pepper, the bella pepper mushrooms, the bella mushrooms, some mac and cheese.
We had clams.
Beautiful, beautiful food. And then here comes me, steak. Although I did find out during this trip, I'm a red wine glaze guy now. Love
This
it.
dude ate red wine glaze for 8 meals.
It was so good.
Let's go.
No way over there. You were on the red wine.
The first time we ate, the guy at the it's called International Smokehouse. So they barbecue stuff, but with seasonings from all over the world.
Yeah.
Right? Which is cool.
But
so I got sea bass.
Yeah.
Right? He orders a steak. And he goes, the guy goes, would you like the red wine sauce? And Tobin goes, I think I will. Right?
Dude, I didn't know about this.
Every time we ate a piece of meat, he looked on the menu, red wine sauce.
Boom. I'm glazed up, dude. But anyway, so I get my tater tots, and Leroy goes, "Are you effing kidding me?" Like just completely ashamed by me ordering the tater tots at a fancy ass restaurant. Like the place is beautiful, wait list, people dressed to the nines, and here I am in my beautiful, and it comes in a nice little tray, Marcos, like a beautiful hot tray. And I get some sweet tots.
That's not even the worst part. Somebody at the table goes, you really should have got it with the marshmallows. Sometimes they come with marshmallows. And he goes, I thought that was too much.
No,
I'm like, really?
There was an option for, Marcos, there was an option for marshmallow crust. And I thought, when I knew I was making it, I was like, wow, I already know Leroy's going to rip me for getting the tots.
If you get marshmallow,
if I get marshmallow, it's going to be on.
Right.
The thing is, though, most popular side at the table. Everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted it on the tots.
Leroy?
Delicious.
No, I confirm this.
No.
The doctors love the tots, dude.
So the funny thing is that so we had the party bus that we got to go over there. Now, I hadn't yet. I've been calling this place for a week and a half, trying to fix the reservation. Right? Nothing. They don't answer their phone because it is packed. Right?
Place is great.
So I get there. Young lady, I go in. I tell them, stay on the bus in case we got to go somewhere else. Right? Because I ain't going to just run up on them. So I go in there. Young lady's in there. I start whispering at her. I say, look, I've been trying to call this place. Nobody answers. I try to go on the website. You can't read, you can't fix it. Right? I say, why don't you help me out?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Help me out.
Mm-hmm.
I say, I got 7. It was a table for 4. Right? They say, well, she said, I tell you what, come on in, go to the bar. We'll call you when you're ready, when we're ready. Now we thinking it's going to be a substantial wait.
Mm-hmm.
I was cool with that because here's the other thing. Our reservation was for 9 o'clock. We showed up at 8.
Yeah.
So I'm already giving them an hour so they could get it. You know what I'm saying?
Plus
so I'm not just coming at the last minute and saying, let's do this.
It was cool of her because that bar also is really tiny and the waiters are always behind.
Right.
Like,
So we ordered up drinks, right? And we're maneuvering the drinks or whatever. Couple of sips. Table's ready. I'm like, yes.
But then, we learn from our sommelier. He was like, he was perusing his nose like a hound. Like,
okay.
He's like, a smokiness to it, Like I was like, what?
Okay, dude.
It's like
so here's the deal. So I'm from New Orleans. One of the most famous drinks in New Orleans is a Sazerac, right? I had never had one. So we start talking about Sazeracs, right? He goes, Sazerac is a rye whiskey. I said, no, I did not know that. I thought it was just a drink. Oh, they use it to make the drink, but it's actually a rye whiskey. So we ordered a Sazerac. It came as the liquor. And I'm like, I kind of wanted the drink because I never had it. So this dude broke down every ingredient of the drink.
Yeah, he had a real sniffer on him.
He said, you taste that? It's the licorice and the absinthe. And I'm like, actually, it's just horrible.
Just too much.
It was.
Oh no, it was bad. I saw all that. It was
yeah, but I don't know.
It was bad, but honestly, nothing was as hilarious though as this group, this ragtag group that we have found together, showing up to a steakhouse in a party bus. Like, dude, Marcos, this base on this bus, it was too much. Like, I've never felt more washed because like we could have just taken not a minivan, not
no, because they said the maximum was 6.
I understand. So we ended up on this Marcos laser lights in the bus.
Oh yeah.
On the screen is just the baby playing with his music videos with Astron just all over the place shaking. I don't know these individuals.
Right.
We're looking at we're just watching Cheeks galore. Astron is just on the ride to Herbs and Rye. And I'm like, this guy's like, all the doctors are delighted because like they're cardiologists. I don't know how much Cheeks they're seeing in Fort Myers, but man, it was the most I don't know, like over the top ride to a steakhouse ever.
Right. Wait. And we got to ride back. He said, let me call my guy back.
Yep.
Ride back. So then the next day, this was Friday. And I'm like, I golfed on Friday. I didn't golf on Saturday because my buddy had, he had to take his son to a golf tournament. So I was like, cool, I'll sleep in. He goes, we got a cabana at Wet Republic. I was like, you know what? I'll sleep in.
Yep.
I'll go. Because at this point, I took care of dinner. I'm just assuming, all right, let's go hang out with him.
Bro, you were up late that night because I was like, where's Leroy? And like, I hadn't heard from you. You were like, MIA. He calls me at 11:30 Pacific time. And he's like, hey. I'm like, whoa, you're an early bird. I never heard you that tired.
Hey, I got on the heater on the tables, and I got so tired I just left. The people at the table were like, "You're on the heater." I'm like, dude, I'm too tired.
Leroy was giving Pie Gout Poker a 2-piece and a soda, like all weekend. It was something.
So we go to this Wet Republic. Now, keep in mind, it's unlike any place you've ever been to because there's pools everywhere. So there's 3 pools over here.
Yep.
Right? But that's not the pool we need to go to. We need to go to the Wet Republic, which is DJ, lights, the cabanas are fancy, everything. So I'm walking around looking for, I go to Cabana 4, it's like 7 old ladies. I'm like, dude, where are you? They said, no, you need to go to the Wet Republic. So then we go there. The line to get in the Wet Republic is long. I'm talking about, so I go to the VIP, give the name, right? Escort me right on in.
Dr. Sommelier got him right in.
Yep, right in.
All right.
So then we get there, and it is packed. Dude, it's 12 o'clock, and it's standing room only.
That's prime time.
Marcus, you could not move in the main pool. It was ridiculous. It looked so uncomfortable. It's
like that.
It's 110 degrees. It's like I couldn't imagine being in that water.
Hey, so who do I?
It has to be nastier than.
Who do I send this video to? JFig?
Yeah.
Video? Wow.
Yeah.
We have video evidence of.
Oh, dude.
So, if you guys weren't in the water, you guys were chilling in the cabana. I'm assuming
we were chilling in the cabana, but the cabana gets its own pool.
What?
Yeah. Listen, Dr. Sommelier was throwing around some dollars, dude.
Wow, dude.
Hey,
that's not cheap.
And let me tell you, when we got there, I got there at 12.
Yeah.
And I ordered some food. And I just ordered chicken tenders because I hadn't eaten since the dinner the night before.
Yeah.
Right? It was 5 chicken tenders. Each one was this big.
Okay, so that's good then. They didn't rob you. I thought you were going to tell me that they gave you, after everything, you're in VIP and you get like, ball game chicken tenders.
That's all right. No.
Chicken tenders.
No. It was unbelievable. So I called Tobes. Tobes, come check this out.
Yep.
Oh, nice. So you went through the same thing. You saw the line and all that stuff.
No, he went to the wrong pool too.
I went to the wrong pool too. Then I tried to just sneak into the guest because nobody was there, and I knew this guy was a VIP. So I was just like, I'll just sneak in. The guy, hey, you just go through that rope, big fella. Ooh. I said, yeah. He goes, you need to go around. I said, okay, can you be a little more specific with your directions? He's like, that way, sir. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, where do I go? I was really about to get -1 for sass and probably beat up by this giant bodyguard.
Oh.
He goes, you go behind Cabana 16 and you go through the gate. I said, all right. Calm down there, Richie Incognito. Calm down.
They love having power.
Oh,
anybody who has any type of power.
They love it.
No, you cannot.
Dude,
Over here, sir.
Marcos,
Over here.
I got apprehended by a bikini waitress.
What?
Oh, yeah.
So they didn't know I was with the doctors. I was the only intangibles. I stuck out.
We had this pool right in front of us in our area, like a little strip pool, but it was too many big ones in there, so you had to get your space.
So I go in there, and she's like, I had already been with the guys for I don't know, 20 minutes. I had already 2 drinks. So I get up out of the water. Leroy goes, hey, let's do one more. We're going to go to the Crawford fight. And so I go pour because she was serving them. And then she obviously didn't know I was with the crew because she didn't offer to serve me a drink. So I was like, whatever. I'll go up and serve mine. And then she goes, hey, not yours. I said, what do you mean? She's got hands on my arms. I'm like, hey. Oh, no. I'm with them. I'm their friend.
It is mine, actually.
She goes, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were with me. And I think for the first time, intangibles.
Jeez, dude, discriminated against that.
The damage is done, my friend.
Hey, not yours. I was like, Jesus. All right.
Jeez, dude.
Anyway, that's some more shenanigans for Vegas. We'll take a quick break, get back into the Dolphins as they have their first camp in practice. and get you caught up with stuff, get your weather update, get your headlines. Back with more for this.
We've got
right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 here on the show. Miami Dolphins have just wrapped up their first padded practice. And, defense getting around. So I tell you what, Leroy, I saw one highlight. Sealer it on up.
Hey, you watching highlights now?
Oh, dude, that's the great thing about the fans being there. The fans can take video. I love it. It's fantastic. So now I get to see, who's winning the day. It's, a lot of defensive flashing today. Cam Smith doing a nice little passy break up there.
All right.
I'm liking it. I'm liking the way things are going out there. Meanwhile, big week for the Dolphins. Zach Thomas, Leroy, going into the Hall of Fame. Would you like to hear from Jalen Phillips yesterday on Zach Thomas? He led the fans. Zach Thomas, he did a little media session. Then he fired up the fans yesterday at camp. Here is a little bit of Jalen Phillips on meeting Zach Thomas.
Yeah, I met Zach Thomas before, and he was just a very wise guy. Obviously, he's someone who's done it and done it at a very high level. So it's definitely cool to kind of pick his brain and just hear what his mentality and mindset is with everything.
Goosies. Jalen Phillips, by the way, back on the practice field after missing a couple
I'm going to say
practices.
this. There's not many people that I will say this about. You will never, ever, ever hear me say a bad word about Zach Thomas.
Oh man, I mean, yeah. How could you? The guy's amazing. He's gonna cry. You know that he's gonna cry on the upcoming speech. That's a given.
Yeah.
But he also said that he talked a little bit about the current team, Zach Thomas, yesterday to the media. Here's what the legend had to say on this year's squad.
I love the question. We got a great talent on this roster. We got a great head coach and offensive coordinator, probably the best defensive coordinator on the team now. But none of that means nothing if you don't win in this building. You don't win on that practice field, and they know that it's a choice that they'll make, and we'll see how great they want to be. I'm cheering for them, but I know this is you got to have talent to win, and we got it. So I think Chris Guerrero's done a great job with this roster. It's exciting, man. I'm more excited this year than any year.
Wow. That's cool. The legend has spoken, dude. The legend has spoken. Man's man.
He is a man's man.
Zach Thomas also said both of his kids, big Tua fans. This is what he had to say on that.
Oh yeah, right? We got two Tua jerseys on right now.
Tua's the guy. He's that guy.
That's amazing. You totally unappreciate. They totally do not appreciate their dad as Hall of Fame, right?
You don't think they got 54s lying around? Nothing beat last year when Joe Flacco's kids were wearing Tyreek Hill jerseys. That was disrespectful. I wouldn't give my kids allowance if they were wearing a Jim Rome shirt. If Tommy was walking around and he'd be like, "Hello, clones," I'd be like, "Why don't you kick rocks, dude? Give me a video game back." Oh wow!
Hey, and I got to tell you, you know how I feel about that. So,
oh man, Leroy hates Jim Rome. Finally, here's one more from Zach Thomas. Just says, looking forward to Thursday in Canton.
Oh, it was special. Thursday, we're going to visit with my family, but to see, the bust of Junior Seau in there, man, it was awesome, man. Love that guy. Seeing Jason, seeing all the other 10 Dolphins in there, it's cool too, man. So it's a special moment,
Do you get your own bust, or do you get a replica bust, or does your bust only go to the Hall of Fame?
They actually go and measure your head.
That's crazy.
They make I don't know how you would call it.
Like a mold?
You don't get one.
Yeah.
You don't get one at home though, right? Like you don't get one.
I don't know where they do it. I mean, but it has to be done well in advance.
Who do you think is still growing up these days and saying, "I want to be a sculptor"?
And no, I think people are artists, dude.
I know, but like, you know, I feel like the kids these days, the punk kids these days, everybody wants to be a Wynwood artist, right? Like they want to go right on buildings and make, you know, the fancy oranges and whatnot. I feel like a sculptor.
Fancy oranges.
Yeah, you know, like that orange with the smile. You see it all over Wynwood. What I'm talking about, dude.
Orange with the smile?
Yeah, everybody knows what I'm talking about. I don't know.
I
what
don't.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Dude, Marcos, you know what I'm talking about, dude?
Yes, he's actually one of the more famous artists.
Orange dude.
That guy who kicks the ball, you know, number 10 Argentina. Essentially, that's what we're doing to this artist, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know his name, but he's got like the Orange Bowl logo, but it's Wynwood. It looks cool, you know? That's what it's like. He's like, hey, like that's the orange. Everybody knows JFig. And I'm just wondering, like, I feel like that's the cool thing to do as an artist these days. Like at Art Basel, when's the last time at Art Basel you got to Art Basel and there's been a sculptor? Like, you know, like a guy making like, you know, the old
What
David
about Ice
statues.
Sculptors?
What? That's kind of like
You see those more often.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, that's kind of like a low rent sculptor, you know?
Because
you can always get another piece of ice. It's not like making it. It's not like making. You're not sculpting.
How is
something.
that low rent?
Wait,
It's
hey,
very
hey, jackass. You do realize you only see the art that they didn't screw up on.
Right, exactly.
Not everybody is perfect with every piece of art they start.
Yeah.
So,
dude,
the fact that you're sitting here saying you need to give more credit to an ice sculptor because everybody's watching, and he only has one try at this.
Who's watching?
Everyone's watching.
Whoever's at the fancy party.
The ice sculptor?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're always at a fancy party, so imagine that.
Yeah, but nobody's doing live ice sculpting. Yeah, that guy. Everybody, you know that
They
guy.
only do
I've
live
seen
ice
that.
sculpting.
No, I've never seen anybody do live ice sculpting. You're making that up.
So
you know,
you're saying when you go to a party, they
making that
just
up.
bring it in?
yeah, exactly.
How do they transport it, jackass?
In a freezer, like in a refrigerator truck.
Oh my
I'm dumb.
Dude, stop.
Here in Miami, one break, that's it.
Oh, I'm with you. Listen, it's tough. It's tough sledding for I wouldn't do an ice sculpture at my party in Miami. I think that's a little stupid. I would go like chocolate fountain. But for me, it's still like I get it. Like I respect an ice sculptor, but not as it's kind of like the G League of sculpting.
So a grown ass man,
right,
would do a chocolate fountain.
Yeah, in Miami, yeah, as opposed to an ice sculpture. That's
But
gonna melt.
you're not thinking of the big picture. Sometimes with these ice sculptures, alcohol runs through them.
No, that's an ice luge, JFig. Again, you're changing.
Pretty close, because guess what? There is always some sort of design on them, okay?
No,
that is
first,
still an ice sculptor.
First, they chisel some type of structure with a luge. So it's actually a combo.
Okay, so it's like once again, it's a trash version of sculpting. It's not like the statue of David.
And your solution is not have an artist at all, but have a chocolate fountain.
No, my solution is, and getting back to my point, is you guys have diverted me off because you're obsessed. Because you guys have decided, you and JFig have decided to stand and defend the honor of ice sculptors.
I defend the honor of art because I was one of those people back then.
They're very talented to do it.
No, but I was an art major back then.
Leroy, what if Rebecca came home today and says, "Daddy, I want to be an ice sculptor"? You'd be like,
"Then you support your child."
I would say, yeah. Also try with wood.
Yeah, and I'd also say if Tommy told me that, I said, "Great, that's a hobby, and go get a real job."
Wow. Well, let me explain something to you.
It's gonna smack you back in the face.
Wait.
Hold on.
Hold on. I got him right now. So when Fonz was in high school, he wanted a camera.
Okay.
Right? He said, I like doing stuff like this. I want to start doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at what he's doing.
That's a real job, though. That's being a director. That's like actually making art, not
okay. But that starts off as a hobby.
Started off with a camera.
No, you're making an ice toy. Get out of here. That's not a real job. How many ice sculptures you need a year? 2? Like how many weddings are getting ice sculptures a year in Miami?
How much go
They're always there.
Huh?
Dude, how many how many events have you gone to that have been an ice sculpture?
I think I've been to 4. Oh, in my life, I've seen 4 ice sculptures.
Because
you don't go to fancy parties.
Because you're staying in trailer parks in the woods of Tennessee. That's why. No ice sculptures out there.
I'll tell you what, I respect wood sculptures more than I do ice sculptures. Like when I was in Tennessee and I saw the people making bears out of wood, I'd be like, oh, well, that's art. That's
and
art.
with all those trees, you think if they screw up, they just can say, "Hey, bring me another tree."
Maybe, but I bet you that they got less cracks at the bat because like you only have so many
It's a
trees.
wooded area.
You literally can make, dude. Think about this. You literally can make as much ice as you want. All you have to do is get more water, make a big block. It's really not that hard. So you have as many bites of the apple as you want.
Says a guy who's gonna draw a play called the what?
Bootleg scoop boogie.
Right. Yeah.
Which, by the way, can I tell you my favorite?
Which,
tweet
by the
today?
way, can you finally do that?
Yeah, I will, but not right now, JFig. We'll get to that
tomorrow.
Well, hopefully that the boot scooting boogie comes before you grow facial hair.
Lashing out. I mean, objection.
You're lashing out on Ice Sculptors.
Objection, Your Honor. Irrelevant.
I'm responding to your lashing out.
This was my favorite tweet of the day from Omar Kelly.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Chubb sniffs out a naked boot that ends in an incompletion.
He did that on purpose, dude.
He's deflecting already.
Chubb sniffs out a naked boot that ends in an incompletion. I mean, that's football.
Now, if you don't know nothing about sports and you read that, you have no idea.
I'm telling you right here, though, dude. Dolphin Kane says, Tobin, move up here in Minnesota. Lots of ice sculpting. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, but like, again, you have more bites at the apple. Like, what are we talking about here?
By the way, I looked it up. You may like this, actually, Tobin. You may change your stance based off of this company's game ops, if you will. Their website, icemaybe.com.
That's his website.
Wait, so how much for ice sculpture?
$750 per block of ice used.
Oh, okay, dude.
Per block of
Now,
ice.
wait. Now pull up wood sculpture.
Okay.
$200 in a six pack
yeah,
of
but that's
Bud
not,
Light.
yeah, but that's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That's not fair. Like if I'm going to Miami, of course they're going to upcharge you just for the glamour of it.
Also,
I don't know, man.
Technicalities are coming into play.
There are there's economics of it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's some on Wayfair. There's a dimensional
On Wayfair.
wood sculpture for $4,000.
Yeah, see, respectable art.
Do you respect sand sculptors?
Sand sculptors, like the people who make the giant sand castles, like Sandy the Tree in West Palm.
Yeah.
No, I mean no.
What?
What are there? 3 people in the
Why
world?
don't you respect them?
How much does that guy get paid to do the sand art once a
It's
year?
not about the money. It's about the talent.
It is about the money.
You want everyone to get a real job if they're a sculptor.
Wait.
No,
You do realize this dude is telling people to get a real job, and we do radio.
I
No. In fact, you guys completely undercut my entire point, which was getting back to Zach Thomas's bust, which was, are people still being sculptors? And you're like, oh, there's ice sculptors, which is, like I said, the lowest rent of sculpting. I want to know if there's real sculptors out there, like marble, bronze, like, or like,
there is.
if there, I respect those sculptors. Those are real
It
sculptors.
should all be respected.
Not ice sculptors.
They
Not
should.
ice sculptor. No, that's a hobby, JFig.
If I ever see an ice sculptor at one of your parties,
No. Listen, I'd be like, look at
no,
this.
you know what? Nothing.
Look at the hobby this guy did.
Hey, dude, can I just tell you right now? Can I just tell you right now? What you are doing is
what?
Is you're Errol Spence and you're attacking.
No, I'm not, dude. I'm not.
Yes, you are.
You guys
Yes,
all of a
you
sudden,
are.
I didn't realize you guys were such fans of ice.
Of art.
I'm just saying. I'm just you need to be appreciative of artists.
What's
Yes.
more? No. The person who
You
like
have
makes
to appreciate your artists, okay? Because they're very underpaid.
the person. No, they're not. Not the art. The guy. One guy got $500,000 for a banana. No, they're
Okay,
not.
well, what about local ones, huh?
I think they're doing fine with the way. If you're an Art Basel OG, I think you're doing okay. I mean, how much does that
And,
burrito
and,
start
how,
for
and
a
how does that
backpack?
start off as a hobby, Tobin?
Yeah, and how many ice galleries do you see in South Florida?
There's
had a
actually
whole-
an
there
ice
was an ice
bar.
restaurant?
There's an ice bar.
No.
Ice
Yeah.
bar.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Can I go into that store and can I buy ice? Like, can I buy an ice sculptor?
You wouldn't buy ice.
Could I do it? No, it's a stupid
You
place
can.
where I can put on a coat and pretend I live in the cold. Foxton. Amazon.
Hey,
I'm not
But
boxed
why
in,
would
man.
hey dummy? Where are you gonna put the ice sculpture?
I don't have to put it anywhere. The point is I can't go buy it anywhere because it's not real
Why
art.
would you buy it though?
It's for
Exactly,
parties.
dude. You're making my point.
It's for events.
You're wait.
You're never seen it anywhere else.
So here's what I
Don't you
picture
dare
old.
play that
Here's what I picture old Dum Dum doing. Right? Old Dum Dum would buy an ice sculpture and put it in the back of his pickup truck and try to get it home before it melts.
Dude, my point of it being is it's a temporary decoration. It's not art.
So is a wedding.
No.
You can't take the decorations home.
You guys see, this is the problem with arguing with Neanderthals. Like you can't talk to people like
Neanderthals.
you can't talk to JFig and Leroy.
Dude, right now you are hanging
my
out with
whole
a Yeti.
dude. My whole point of
You
this
are
was,
so alone on this island.
dude. My whole point of it was, it's the lowest rent of sculpting because if I was real art, it could stay in my house forever, but it can't because it's a decoration. It's a party favor.
It's exclusive.
There's a lot of parties.
Sand sculptors are worse though, because at least like sand sculptors can't even leave the beach. Like that was the worst.
Take a break. Back after this.
That's Mike saying
Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Guys can get at us. We're on YouTube, Miami 560 WQAM. Shmeeth and Schmolnick says that Tobin would buy an ice sculpture and use it as a snow cone. That sounds delightful, actually.
In this weather? Italian ice.
Dade South says, just playing devil's advocate here, but isn't radio the ice sculpting of broadcasting?
Yes. Yes. I just pointed that out.
Wow.
He's making fun of low end what he says is the low rent district of sculpting.
Mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, kind of like what we do.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah. What do? You do like an ice sculpture? I mean, you're busting that out twice a year. We do this every day, dude. 4 hours of silly sauce. That's art.
All right.
That's art.
So, JFig, you got that picture? That video?
Yes, we do.
This is what we did on Saturday, and it was 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock.
I think that's your cue to play it, JFig.
Okay, my computer's acting up, so it'd be nice if one of you actually played it for me. Thanks for the sass.
This is at 12 o'clock. What happened?
Oh, man. There's just way too much going on there.
It was 12 o'clock.
I know.
So each one of these cabanas has a small little. I see what you mean, like the individual.
That's
kind of like
strip.
it's kind of like
the guys
one
were
long strip.
upset. The guys were mad. The doctors were mad because they stayed at a cabana the day before at a different casino.
Yeah,
and they said they had their own private pool.
Yeah, well, you couldn't be mad compared to like what the hell was going on 50 feet in front of them in the pool that was like wall to wall people, which were just
right.
It was probably as gross as I've seen a pool since like the Marlins Clevelander pool that I jumped into one time.
Oh, gross.
Oh, so gross, dude.
It was a walk off, and he decided he was going to jump in the pool.
Yep. Well, macho. Meanwhile, the NBA, you know, they came out here. They shamed Damian Lillard. They went from Dame time to shame time with their stupid statement, and I'm mad at them. That being said,
into it.
What's that?
Nobody said Dame didn't say anything, or his
no,
agent?
he's not allowed to. You can't say anything because you might be disciplined, Damian Lillard. Because here's the thing: Joe Cronin's a big crybaby, and he doesn't want to call up the phone and do business with Pat Riley. So what did he go? He goes whines to teacher. Oh, teacher, I don't get to do a fair negotiation. Boo-hoo. Oh, wait, I lied to him. Oh, okay. Like, try and make me feel bad for Joe Cronin
again. You're missing the boat here.
Hmm?
The reason why he has to do that is because he's employed by the owners. So if one of the owners complained about this, didn't have to necessarily be Cronin.
Let me ask you something.
Who's to say it is not one of the owners for one of these teams who think they have a better offer than Miami?
It's not. It's from Portland. Come on, dude.
I'm just saying, you're making this assumption.
You're right. I'm making a very logical assumption.
He's employed by the owner.
Okay. Well, here's my retort to that would be, why now? Why all of a sudden, after all these trade requests, after everybody has been dealing with this forever, why all of a sudden, why is Damian Lillard the one who gets singled out?
Agreed.
That would be my retort to that.
There's far more egregious situations than this one. And of all the situations, he has handled himself like a gentleman throughout all this. He didn't just all of a sudden say, I want to be traded. He actually asked his team to put something around him to help him win a championship in Portland.
The thing that just drives me nuts about this is people go, oh, business is business. Just shut up. Business is business. And it's like, no, I mean, there are feelings in this. There are loyalty. You're supposed to, you know, not just discard these people as human beings. I hate that, dude. Oh, business is business. That being said, Jaime Jaquez eligible to be traded today, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! Jaime can be on the block. Little sweetener.
Can I just
sweetener. Finally come, baby.
Dude.
What?
You are we sitting here having a very sincere and honest conversation about the loyalties of Dame Lillard.
Yeah.
And you
dude.
follow it up with how many Hawkins can be traded today? Like, wow.
Been a long 30 days, dude.
Can I just say something? Zero loyalty.
What do you mean?
You.
I mean, Jaime Jaquez hasn't played for the Heat yet. You know, guy barely played summer league. You know,
signed.
He signed for what? So he could get his guaranteed money. Good for him. Business is business.
And what else? How many times did you trade Tyler Hero?
I think I've officially put him on the block like 3 or 4 times.
Where's the loyalty there?
Where's the loyalty? Where?
We're only talking about one player.
What do you mean?
Tyler Hero. Where's your loyalty there?
It's for KD, dude.
See?
And Dame Dollar.
You got zero loyalty.
No, that's not true. I wouldn't trade Bam for Embiid.
That's different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
How so?
Bam is one of the few athletes that like you.
That's not true. Tyler Hero likes me.
And you trade him. Does he know you trade him once a week?
You don't even know.
He don't know.
I do know. I've heard.
Heard what?
He likes this. That he likes the silliness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not your average Joe when it comes to sports talk. People like me because I'm the wacky guy. You know. Gets me out of a lot of trouble.
You've got me in trouble.
What do you mean, Leroy? For this?
Got yourself into trouble.
Look, I'm gonna just be honest. Somebody send him a rubber band, a barrette, because the last thing we need is his eyes being covered. Put that picture back up. We need get all get everything out of his eyes. I tried to keep it buttoned down for the whole show.
Toast.
But Eli Apple, come see me, you bum. Oh, no. Come see me.
Wow.
Let's talk about that Louisiana food.
Wow.
Food tastes better for winners.
Bro, the only advice I want from Eli Apple is breakfast because you burnt toast.
See? Yes. Look, you know what he's doing? You can't toast on gasoline on the fire. On toast. Get him, Leroy. Get him.
Yeah. I'm a good friend.
Now we ready for barbecue.
You're just supporting this boy.
Yeah.
I'm a friend.
Stop
We're
it,
just
Marcos. Because guess who made that picture?
Who? What?
Because look, we walked through the airport. We tried to get through the airport. I said, "Hey, Toad, you want to get some food? You want to stop me?" Sure, man. Let's get it. And then, he goes. I said, "Who did that?" He said, "I haven't posted it yet." like already. It wasn't even 24 hours. He already got.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's a picture of Eli Apple signing his contract, and then in just a comic bubble says Leroy.
Let me tell you, when I got the notification, I didn't know how to act. I was shocked.
Right.
I kept thinking about you, but my fingers didn't think to actually text you or to even go on, Instagram or Twitter.
You best believe, I'm telling you, blew up the whole night. All I was getting, because keep in mind, when y'all get up in the morning and it's 8 or 9 o'clock, it's 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
So all the excitement everybody was getting, I'm just like.
I just want to also say, look, it's not like I want Jaime Jaquez to get traded. It's just like if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't
your way of wiggling out.
Don't try to backtrack. You didn't even see the guy playing. You was already talking about a second sweetener.
Take a quick break. Final hour of the show coming on up.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore
Oh. Ironically, that's what they call me too, dude.
Hot stepper?
Yep.
This weekend you were right next to the hot taker.
Dude, that guy was you don't know. Errol Spence coming around like pop, pop, oh.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the only one, though. I saw Crowder had tweeted out the same thing. Like, I'm taking my guy Spence. And then when I called him out on it, he said someone found his password. So, good wiggling.
It is good wiggling by Channing Crowder. But look, I get it. Like Errol Spence, he's got a lot of fans in the media. Errol Spence is really good. Terence Crawford is better. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Somebody Leroy, unmute yourself, dude.
What happened?
I don't know, but you're muted.
I was.
Can we get a weather update here, Leroy, from the Desmond and Dover Law Firm? YourAccidentAttorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
Gotta tell you, planes look a lot safer in this air. I'm just saying. All right. We got partly cloudy skies with a breeze of 10 to 15 miles an hour out of looks like it might be out of the north a little bit. Northwest. It's hard to see. The clouds aren't moving very much. And the temperature's got to be like, what, 94, 95 degrees? It's a heater.
Yeah. Soupy. Very, very soupy. We get some headlines here brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Miami Marlins, they honored Miguel Cabrera this weekend. They took 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. David Robertson made his Marlins debut yesterday, shut the door, and they'll be back at it today. Start a 4-game series with the Phillies. Big series for the Fish coming up this week against the Phils. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, we learned that he is going to be out several weeks with a calf injury. He suffered a non-contact injury in training camp. Not great for Joe Burrow.
I mean, what's amazing? Go look at how many games he's missed.
Injury prone, dude.
Injury prone, dude.
If it was Tua, oh my God, it'd be everywhere.
That's my point.
Joe Burrow.
It's amazing to me. And I don't really, if you want to call somebody injury prone and you want to say, oh, Tua getting concussion scares me, I get that. Okay? But here's what you can't get me with. He's played more games than Lamar Jackson. So what do you make of that?
Of the last 2 years. Not like
the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So what do you make of that?
Not many more than Lamar Jackson. I mean, he has missed a lot of time.
No, but I'm just saying. Like, it's not just Tua.
Oh, I know it's not. I know it's not just Tua, but look, Tua's durability is a question. Like, I love Tua. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Tua supporter, but like, there is no question. Like, if you had anything, that was the biggest concern coming into this year, even more than offensive line, it's Tua's durability. You can't argue that, Leroy. It's
but here's why I'm going to argue it.
Go ahead.
If he was having the same injuries, I get it. So, for example, remember Ryan Tannehill had a knee. He's not going to need surgery. He came back, injured the knee, was done. Right? That's what I call injury prone.
Well, I remember when that happened, you argued that it was the same injury, though. So I don't like.
No,
wouldn't you be more injury prone if you got everything injured? Like Tua has had hand, hip, now head. Like he's had a lot of different.
Here's the thing: all quarterbacks during the course of their career get that old thumb or finger injury because they're trying to throw the ball when an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman in their face hit their hand on the helmet. It happened to Aaron Rodgers. He was still able to play, but he wasn't any good. Didn't it happen to in Denver? It happened to Russell Wilson when he was in Seattle. So those things happen for quarterbacks. That is a quarterback injury. I would say the hip thing and the ankle thing happened in college. He hasn't had any problems since. Like, you're gonna have injuries. You're gonna, like, for people to think you're gonna be able to play this sport without any injuries, it's crazy.
I understand, but he's had a lot of, like, I feel like he's had a lot of different injuries.
He's had enough to still get drafted 5th in the draft.
I know, and
he's had enough to still lead the league in like six statistical categories. So you eat it. You eat it. You deal with it, because the upside of Tua is greater than the 3 or 4 weeks he may miss. That's life. You deal with it. Just like we do with every other player. We're doing it with Teron Armstead right now.
I get you, but it's like you try and patchwork it together when Armstead's not out there. But like, it is different when you don't have your quarterback, dude. He touches the ball every play. Like, it's a huge thing. And again, I hope that the thing, in a weird way, like, the concussions are, I guess you could say, flukier. It's not like his body isn't holding up. And it's not like it's the previous injuries he had his first couple of years, which were banged up here, banged up there, misses a hand, a shoulder, whatever, an ankle. He had a bad ankle thing.
He didn't have a bad ankle in Miami.
Yeah, he did. He missed one, and he got remember he had the injury against Denver his first year. Brian and Fitzpatrick had to play a game. Okay. He got injured towards it. Yeah, he's had a lot of knick-knack injuries, dude.
Okay.
It's
football.
The thing that is concerning with his head is, like we talked about this last week, it's like, what is going to be, not everything is as obvious as, him getting knocked out cold. So I think that's the thing you're just concerned about, is when you're evaluating him, what's normal, could he be hurt here? We don't know. It is a huge thing. Like, if Tua doesn't have any injuries this year and he doesn't get through, it's kind of like the last question mark on him. We know he's good. I feel like if you're a person who thinks Tua's just not good at football when he's healthy, you're just a hater or a bastard.
That's where people are. But here's what I'm getting at, and to your point, a lot of people are looking at Tua and disliking his abilities, and they have a reason to have it, right? Because guess what? If I take another quarterback and put those statistics on them, the football world thinks totally different of that player. And I'm curious as to wonder, why is that? Because you can't, listen, here's the funny thing about it. There's still people who think Tua can't throw the deep ball. No. And he was the best in the NFL at it.
Yeah, that's silly. Silly.
But that's so when you read all these lists of quarterbacks, and Tua's that far down the list, you'll have a more difficult time explaining to me why he isn't higher than why he's where he is.
Stud Steve points out, that was, remember the one he suffered in his second year where he got crunched by was it Greg Rousseau? No, I think maybe it was Ed Oliver. It was against the Bills. He had his ribs broken.
Right. Okay. That's football.
Leroy's been there.
I've broken ribs 3 times.
Oof.
And let me tell you.
Oof.
Like, you can't laugh. You can't do nothing. You can't even eat a lot of food because your stomach will expand and your ribs hurt. Like, it's uncomfortable. But if you get hit a certain way or smashed a certain way, like, yeah. Like, you gotta just deal with it. Like, for people to think you're gonna play that violent of a sport and not have like certain injuries, like ribs are a fluke.
Look, why do you think that Josh Allen is talking about he wants to change the way he plays football? Because it hurts.
But he can't. But there's a difference in changing the way you want to play and being able to change how you play. I think one of the things that makes him so dangerous is the way he's been playing. So if he changes that, does it make him not as dangerous?
I agree with you. It probably doesn't. But the point of it is, why do you think he wants to change that? Because he's tired of running into people. Cam Newton's bigger than.
Sorry, I didn't have that luxury, so I can't comprehend.
Cam Newton, one of the biggest specimens on the field. It still breaks you down, right? Like
Because he really couldn't throw. When he couldn't run and he was forced to throw the football, woof. Right?
Oof.
One of the things that created separation with his wide receivers and gave him an open field to throw the football was they were terrified of him running.
I'd get you, but once they get tired of running or they can't run the same way because it hurts too bad, that's when they're not the same people.
You know what? I always thought this, right? When I got later on in my career, I said, you know what? I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on that. I'm not going to just be, as physical because I know I'm getting to the end. I couldn't do it. You have to play the way you play. And however long that lasts, then fine, because you're not going to be the best version of who you are if you don't. It's the same thing with Lamar. Now, I will say this. Of all the guys we talking about, the best thrower of the football is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Mysteriously asked to play wide receiver, right? But he, I think, can transition into more of a pocket dynamic than Cam Newton could, than I think Josh Allen will be able to. That's just me.
Karen points out, Tobin, it was AJ Empanesa's empanadas. It was. That's who broke Tua's ribs. You're right. Should remember that. He was in Robbie's draft room. We'll take a quick break. Back with more after this.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore
You send my soul sky high when your loving starts to bug into my brain.
Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM, taking you up until 2 here on the show. Play a little all right, oh no, to close out the weekend. Leroy and I back from a fantastic trip to Las Vegas. We had a great time watching Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Just a thrilling performance by Terence Crawford, really. I mean, the thing is like somebody was like, it was a terrible fight. I said, it wasn't a competitive fight, but you cannot argue that that wasn't a thrilling performance. And I think that that's the thing is, I don't know, maybe it's because people kind of peek into the curtain. Like I was arguing with my snot-nosed tapped out producer this weekend, and he doesn't like boxing. He only likes MMA. He goes, "Oh, I'm just not into boxing." And I'm just like, well then, okay, you're not into greatness. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to sit here and you're going to watch two guys in Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. Guys I love, don't get me wrong, but two guys who have proven that they're not the best of the best. They're they're not the best of the best of the best. They've never won the undisputed championship before. Maybe Justin Gaethje will get there. Maybe Dustin Poirier can have some kind of rally, but you have what's here in combat sports as like the best of the best and who's the best. And I basically just told him to shut the hell up and don't talk boxing ever again. I don't like boxing. I like Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Okay, then you like Instagram more than boxing. I don't know what to tell the kid, Marcos.
Yeah. I mean, look, this was greatness. Like, I understand there was a good UFC card, but this was like top of the top. It doesn't get better than Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence.
It doesn't get better. And then to see Terence Crawford just completely take it to this artistry, and I'm not talking ice sculpting. I'm talking like real sculpting. Okay.
Yeah.
That was what was so thrilling. In fact, my guy, future Heat guard, Damian Lillard, he said he had this to say. He said, best performance I've ever seen in boxing tonight by Terence Crawford. The level of fighter in front of him for undisputed, highly anticipated fight. He rose and dominated. All-time bleep, fire emoji. He's a different breed of human.
Yeah.
That's just goosies right there, dude. I mean, like, that is just goosies galore for Damian Lillard, who's seen a lot of boxing. Damian Lillard is a huge boxing fan.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard to go out and say that was the best boxing performance he's ever seen, to a guy like Damian Lillard, who is, had ice water in his veins moments. For him to be in awe of Terence Crawford, that should show you what kind of performance that was. So basically what I'm telling Jake, my tapped out producer who says he doesn't like boxing, is kick the sharpest of rocks and don't ever talk to me about it again.
Wow.
Hey, it was something special. It's one of those moments in sports that you will always say, I was at that fight.
Yep. I was also at that fight to do something very important, which was to recruit Damian Lillard. And I think he heard me. I'm not sure if I think he heard me.
What did he hear exactly?
Well, I mean, the music was very loud. I don't know if he got through the whale sound, but I tried. Then I also
gotta tell you, it was a smooth moving card also.
Oh yeah. They did it perfectly because they got on and they got done right before the main event of UFC. So whatever their strategy for doing that earlier completely worked.
But is this because they didn't want to compete with the UFC? Because I think more people saw this fight than saw UFC, right?
I would think so, but I was telling you this. The one thing that I found troubling about Las Vegas when it comes to fight promotion
too late
is that it's not too late. It's that the casinos, all they have on are sports bars. And this is the power of ESPN. And one of the reasons why it's helped the UFC so much is you can't help but see nothing but Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier all week. You can't help it. Like
all over. Every channel, in every casino.
Yeah.
Because ESPN's pumping through there. You don't even see anything about the actual the fight that's going on in Vegas,
other than the posters. So I was saying to Showtime needs to cut some kind of deal with the MGM where they need to show their YouTube page or something like that on one of the TVs like to pump in all access during a fight week. So it's just like, oh, that's on our mind. Oh,
yeah, but let's think of this.
Going on.
Here's why. If you are coming to Vegas for the fight, do you care that ESPN's showing UFC? Because
think about this. If you're not just go, let's say you're not going to the fight, but you may, could I go watch it somewhere? Could I go to a bar? Could I go bet on it somewhere? Like, that's why I just think like that's the thing that's overwhelming about Las Vegas is you can still not escape the UFC, even if it's not a Vegas fight. It was in Salt Lake City.
The crazy thing about, what you're saying is that with all the MGM properties and that fight being at an MGM property,
right?
They should probably do a better job of pumping their product.
Right.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I think that's weird. I think that's
it doesn't happen anywhere else.
Nope.
It doesn't happen anywhere else because even for us, like if we are sponsors or we have people doing advertising on our station, then that's what we talk about.
Sure.
Just to be fair to the people that
Of
support
course.
us and our station and our show.
Right.
That's who we talk about. We're not going to all of a sudden then go and talk about, another product that's competing with them.
Right.
So I got you.
By the way, have you guys seen this? Do you see that Jimmy Butler is got a camp coming up in Fort Lauderdale? And this is already sold out, but you can get the opportunity to play one-on-one against Jimmy Butler for $700. Wow. And I just got to think like these poor little kids, they're going to get treated like Drew Holiday.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you about a competitor. Right? Because I was like this. And I'm sorry, Fonz, that maybe I steered you away from sports. Because as a kid, I was smashing him. You ain't getting no victories over here. What do you think? I'm a feel-good parent? No. I'm keeping it real. So I would imagine that Jimmy ain't giving away, he ain't taking no L's.
What? Jimmy Butler?
That's what I'm saying.
No way, dude.
That's what makes athletes at that level who they are.
Jimmy Butler, I don't know if you watched any of the footage out of China, but he was playing a pickup game, and Jimmy Butler bigger than some Chinese members of the basketball team.
What you trying to say?
He just ran over that dude and goes,
and won. Right. He probably couldn't understand that what he was saying, but he understood and won.
Dolphin Kane says, I'll pay $700 for him to take on Grant Williams again. Here's what it says. It says play one-on-one against Jimmy Butler, individual photo, access to download photo, and autograph keepsake. Please note this experience is limited to 3 campers / parents, available for parent or camper. Yeah, I'm like, if
I'm a parent, I'm not going out there embarrassing myself in front of the kids. People say, Tommy, take the charge.
Do the Lowry.
Oh my God. Can I just tell you, after traveling, there is no crowded place in the world. There's only one place that was more crowded than that pool at 12 o'clock. And that was Miami International Airport.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, I have flown in on a Sunday and I don't like it.
But here's what I think. I think if we get to the people sooner, we can tell them we want to fly to Fort Lauderdale, but because they think our station is in Miami, they just assume Miami Airport. You see what I mean? So, like, there's been times when we dealt with Tracy, RIP, and we've said, can we fly out of Fort Lauderdale? And she's accommodated us. I just don't think they know.
Well, I will say, yeah, the guy who set up the flights was a little bit panicky this time around.
Right.
So, in fairness, we could try
that's what I'm saying.
Finagle around it next time.
We didn't like at that point. We were in go mode. We wasn't in working out the details mode. because it was like a last. Usually we know about this stuff a month and a half.
Speaking of RIP, did you hear?
Yeah, check your phone, Leroy.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You can also look at the screen, Leroy. I just want you to
know.
say it.
Oh no! Pee Wee Herman had a dance.
What?
A what?
Huh?
What? I mean, he
I
did have a
said-
dance.
Pee Wee Herman died. Oh no! Paul Rubens.
Oh no!
You know, it's amazing that he kind of fell off a little bit for all the wrong reasons, but Pee Wee Herman was a thing. I can't even explain it.
A lot of people are really upset now because they're like, "Oh, I woke up to Pee Wee Herman, childhood." That's
Yeah.
it's a little bit earlier than me.
I used to love watching the TV show.
I
It
don't
was
remember watching
like,
Pee Wee's Playhouse very much.
What?
and then you remember every once in a while you see him in a regular movie, not talking like Pee Wee
Yeah.
Herman, and it caught you off guard.
Freaked me out.
Yeah.
Well, from oh no Pee Wee Herman to just all right oh no, we'll play our favorite Monday game coming up next.
Oh no!
Here with you on 560 WQAM. Taking you up until 2 here on the show. It's good to be back from Las Vegas. We'll be back in studio tomorrow. See each other longingly after a weekend together. And then back in the same place, Leroy. I miss you.
Oh, it's nice to know that we were missed too.
You are Miss JFig. Are you going to be there tomorrow, JFig? Will we see you?
I'll be there tomorrow.
All right.
But I was also talking about Marcos, Marcos wanted to be missed by you guys too.
Listen, enough of Nikola Krokic over here, right, dude?
Hey, you know what? You want to do a funny skit when you go out there? I want you to just start going, "Hello, my sunshine. Hello, my darling. Hello, my sunshine gal."
Dude, top hat.
It's let's get to all right on now. My all right goes to Udonis Haslem. Udonis Haslem, beautiful farewell post this weekend on his Instagram. He did some reflecting, and this is what UD had to write. He said, 20 years. It's impossible to put into words what these 20 years have meant, but y'all know me. I'm going to try. I consider myself extremely blessed to say that I leave this game with no regrets. The championships, the accolades, the brotherhood. Man, it's hard not to be at peace. Undrafted to a 3-time champion, an all-rookie, teammate of the year, oldest person to play in an NBA Finals game, Miami Heat's all-time leading rebounder, and the longest tenured player. The list goes on. Shout out to my real OGs, the teammates that let me be their OG, and to my family for staying with me 10 toes down all through it. Prayer emoji. Although this journey has had its ups and downs, I'm truly thankful and have no complaints at all the way down to leaving the money on the table to stay in my city. You, Miami, you made it all worth it. Hashtag 305 for life. I will always be the OG, but now it's time for the family man and the businessman to get to work. Hashtag real ones shine in the dark. Hashtag real ones work in the dark. And then finally he writes, number 40, see you in the rafters soon. Until then, OG out.
Yes. I would say I make fun of him. One of the reasons why he became the OG is because of his longevity, right? Because of his ability to, go through all the different teams and still be an intricate part of the organization. I think it's credit to him. Everybody can't do that.
Not everybody can do that.
Everybody can't do that, can't do what he's done. And so he is one. When it comes to that, and it comes to Miami Heat, he is one of one.
My oh no goes to the New York Jets. Couldn't seal the deal with Dalvin Cook, huh?
Oh,
had him there this weekend. Still not a Jet. I mean, he was there. I don't know if Dalvin Cook is out here just flirting, just like, I'll do it, Dolphins. I'll become a Jet. Like, how bad does he not want to be a New York Jet? That you fly up there, you hang out with the Jets, and then you're like, but I still want to be in Miami. He's just hoping. And Chris Greer's like, look, dude, I'm not getting suckered. Like, the deal is the deal. Dalvin, just come to the Dolphins, dude. You know you want to be a Dolphin. You don't want to be on the Jets. Enough of this charade. Let's make this happen.
Can you stop saying that, Smollier?
What do you got, dude, for all right on now?
So my all right goes to a hell of a weekend with my boy and new friends. All right. I got to tell you, them guys were 10 toes on the ground, as UD would say it. Constant. But we had a good time, met some new friends. All right to Martin and Steve. Them guys had to come meet us every morning because it was only us and one other dude in there, and he was in there for a minute, and then he was out. So we were pretty much in there by ourselves. They accommodated us, took care of us. Thank you, and thank you for allowing us to be at one of the greatest fights that ever existed. That was one of the best shows of boxing you will ever see.
Really awesome.
It was really awesome. And my oh no, listen, I already got bubble guts from traveling, right? Everybody knows I'm not a fan of flying. I deal with it and I suck it up. because I wanted to go to the fight. But this lady behind me had the whole back of the plane with sweaty palms looking around, wondering if we was going to make it. Every time the plane bumped, she went, oh.
It was I'm telling you guys, I don't get bothered by flying. I'm fine with flying. I'm fine with a little turbulence.
She had the whole plane shook.
I was genuinely like nervous. I was like, what the hell is going on right now? I've never had a takeoff this rocky.
And look, you've had bumpy takeoffs, right? To where the wind's blowing,
not like that,
up in the air, but the guy was going like this.
Yeah, it was.
There was a couple of times I thought we was going into the grass. That's how crazy it was. I'm not talking about just a little left or right. We were swerving. If there was a cop behind us, he would have stopped the plane and accused him of drinking.
Yeah, like remember when you told me on the way in, you're like, man, I hope we don't have that pilot, little red-faced for the work week.
Right. Yeah.
And that was back. That was back when we were flying to Vegas. I don't know if we got that guy on the way back or what, but it was. Nerve-wracking, dude. It was nerve-wracking.
Oh my goodness. But it was. I got to look. Met new friends. Got to eat at my spot. That spot never fails. Right. Find a new restaurant. Right. International Smoke.
Drank some tickle.
Pretty good.
Drank some tickle pink.
Oh, dude. Wait. Let me tell you.
You guys should have gotten pink cowboy hats.
No, let me tell you what this jackass did. So we go eat and we going back to the casino. I say, damn, I should have brought my because you could take that thing anywhere. So there's people like at the pool with it.
I thought it was only like at that specific
MGM.
Okay.
It says MGM on the cup. So like all the people had the same cup we had at the pool. So I'm like, man, I forgot my cup. I should have brought it. He's like, I threw mine away. I'm like, what?
I'm putting my child at a SeaWorld? Like, what am I going to do with that souvenir cup?
You're going to refill it.
It's memorabilia at the very least.
No, we refill it. But here's the deal. You know how you get excited and you think you're going to drink a whole bunch of them? No.
One's good enough.
We had one. We had one. And plus, look, he goes at everything like a gorilla on a cupcake. Right? Like he don't like, so I'm sipping my drink. I look back, he's holding his head and it's gone. Yeah. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I got brain freeze. I look over, like he's done. I'm like, man. So yeah, it was fun. Glad I met some new friends. We definitely gonna hang out with them again. And guess what they did? Let me show you how much a part animals they were. They they left at 11 o'clock at night on Saturday. They got into Miami and then went and got a cabana or a place on Brickell. Now that's getting it.
Wow. Those doctors really getting after
the weekend.
I told them, I said, hey, I told them, don't touch no hearts, don't touch no bones, no nut for 2 days. You need a detox.
JFig, what do you got for All Right on Note today?
Well, I'm glad you had a really great time. My all right goes to the FTX sign finally getting off the arena. It's being helicoptered off.
It's finally like they're taking it off the top, you mean?
Exactly, yes.
All right.
You know, they did all of that and they, with helicopters and everything, but yet there is still no Dwayne Wade Boulevard.
So you telling me they could move a FTX arena via helicopter and they can't go screw in a sign?
Correct. Crazy. That's exactly what I meant.
I mean, D-Wade started doing the cube, but by the time come on.
I'm pretty sure we're on season 2 of the cube.
Yeah.
Or 3.
What's your no, JFig?
So we had meth crocodiles.
Yep.
Cocaine bears. And now we're back at it once again with
Molly otters.
Sharks.
Cocaine sharks. This is a movie or there's actual.
So I didn't know it was a movie from back then, but this is a real thing that they're apparently sharks are feasting off cocaine in the Keys.
I could see it.
Oh, that the drug dealers dump in the water?
I guess so. And so kind of makes sense as to why there's been a lot of shark activities recently.
Those sharks, right, could be shooting up. it don't matter to me because I ain't getting in the water. So I'm good. Y'all go ahead on and swim with the sharks.
Marcos, what is your all right and oh no?
I'm going to reverse it real quick and give my oh no to Jorge Masvidal.
Oh
no.
As you know, as you may know, I know you do, Tobin. He was presenting the BMF belt at this weekend's UFC card. Reason why he gets my oh no is because he sold me out, dude.
What?
He was supposed to be at the Best Damn Game Show handing off the undisputed championship belt, but he chose to go to the UFC because they have a legacy and money. Sick of you, Jorge Masvidal.
Wow.
You should have done one for something for the little people. So you get my oh no.
Oh no.
Seems a lot of stuff are happening at the
Hey,
improv that are not actually happening.
Wait. So you mad at him for going
Yeah.
hand out the BMF belt?
Yeah.
And not doing your game show belt?
He doesn't even like Justin Gaethje. He doesn't
like Justin Gaethje. Well, I mean, that's his friend got head kicked. So
Yeah.
So
tough
He
weekend.
went down like a tree.
Safe to say he
Not
chose
only-
the wrong one.
Did you see Herb Dean like go in to stop the fight and drop?
He slipped.
And Dustin Poirier tweets. Dustin Poirier tweets out after, he goes, Herb Dean gave me the people's elbow.
He said, if he wasn't out, he's out now.
That was the worst part.
What's your all right, Marcos?
My all right is even without him still put on a successful event. You guys want a preview of what went down at the Best Damn Game Show?
Sure.
No.
Got no choice. I'm gonna give it to you anyway, and I apologize for the radio audience. Yeah, see that belt? See that little kid belt?
What?
That our two comedians are going to be fighting head to head.
I can't talk to him because I put in my mouth.
What's going on, man? Me and Bro, we doing it.
Look at me working hard in my white shirt. Yeah. You missed that, Jorge Masvidal. You missed that, Jorge Masvidal.
Hold on for a second, though.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Luis stole your gig as host. You're the host.
I was
thought
also the producer.
But I mean, I thought. What? Damian Lillard tweeted something. I gotta get everybody off notifications. That's my help.
Dude, I'm just wait. Can I just tell you? Every day at about 12 o'clock, this dude's phone would die because he's constantly on it. I've never seen a guy on social media more than him.
I just need him on the heat already so I could just put it away.
You're addicted. Dude.
You won't put it away. That's the thing.
I will put it away. I will.
Nah, you won't because then you'll get all the updates
I will
and get
take a
super
cleanse.
excited.
I
Say
promise you.
Leroy.
No.
By the way, y'all want to know something cool? So I get a phone call. You ready?
Yep.
Guess from who?
Eli Apple.
Jeremy Schaap.
Oh, you got a call from Jeremy Schaap?
Yes. And he said, hey, you mind coming on and talking about the running back situation? I'm like, okay. I said, but I'm in Vegas. He says, are you in your room? Fine, we'll do it from your phone. So Ramsey, the ticket thief, sent me a picture. This is what it looked like on ESPN.
Can't see it. Can you blow that up, JFig?
And so it's crazy because that's on the phone.
Yeah, man. Magic. I mean, it's kind of the same as you could do the show. Technically, you could do our show from your phone if you wanted to.
No, because it took, look,
Don't do it.
It only took like 10 minutes to do the show,
Mm-hmm.
but it took 20 minutes for me to get balance my phone.
Well,
So no, I couldn't.
what do we say about the old?
They don't like technology. Wait, so no, that was the going bit. the
Also,
whole weekend.
-1 with you and the old jokes in Vegas.
The old don't like the sun.
They do not.
-1.
All right.
It was so hot.
All right. That's our show, everybody. We'll have more fun tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. And be silly, everyone.
McCole Hardman yesterday. Wish you was a better corner, bro. Then the game-winning touchdown would have been scored on you.
I mean, at least be close to him, right? He wasn't even close.
Wasn't even close.
Where do you think that guy's going? He's not running a hitch, dude. Nobody wants a bad, trash-talking athlete.
You had your guy. You immediately thought, good, Eli Apple failed. I went to Al
But he
Goldman.
sucked.
He did suck. Oh, he was awful.
Dude, he sucked. You just had 100+ million people watch how bad you suck. I'm stupid. And here's why.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
Great